Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is James Burridge live from Ashton Gate. Welcome to Bristol and our fourth and final Women's Rugby World Cup quarter-final, the one that many of us have been looking forward to. England against Scotland, and this is when it starts to get serious. The knockout stages, a sellout crowd, everything on the line. England are 30 games unbeaten. They are the world number ones. They average 50 points against Scotland, but this is a straight shootout. Scotland as a team, they may have uncertain futures, but they are playing some of their best rugby in decades, and the weather here in the southwest could well be a leveller. Conditions earlier today were atrocious. There's another band of rain, heavy rain coming up from the southwest, so we just don't know. But I do have two brilliant rugby superstars alongside me, former World Cup winner Kat Merchant and Lisa Martin, the former Scotland captain. Girls, what a day. What a day for the game, what a day for both these sides. Kat, starting with you. It's always fascinating watching the warm-ups, isn't it, about what the girls are going through mentally. Put us in the picture. You've been there, you've both tasted it. What goes through a player's mind in a World Cup quarter-final?
Oh, they won't, because there's incredible crowds here, but to be honest, the players won't even notice it. It won't even come into their mind when they're warming up. When you put your boots on, when you come out onto that pitch, it just all becomes about the rugby, getting prepped, what you have to do. Backs will be thinking about fine-tuning those lines. Forwards will be getting everything right in that set-piece area. So, and it's just that excitement, but keeping a lid on it, because you can't get pumped now. We're still 15 minutes away from kickoff. They can't be that excited yet.
And Lisa, this has been an amazing tournament from a Scottish perspective. What a performance against Wales. And they've got nothing to lose. It's the biggest cliche in sport, isn't it? But it really rings true today for Scotland.
Oh, 100%. There is zero expectation, there's zero pressure externally on the Scotland squad here. Obviously, they'll be putting pressure on themselves in terms of they'll be expecting a certain level of performance, both individually and as a squad. But like you say, this is knockout rugby. Anything can happen. Anything can happen on the day. And, you know, as a avid Scotland fan, I'm backing it to go in navy blue today.
It would be amazing if we could have a real humdinger which could take us all the way, because we've seen that, we've witnessed it already today. One of the games of the tournament, France somehow holding on, coming back against Ireland. They were 13-0 down. Ireland had a line out 5 metres from the France line. The dying minutes, they couldn't control it, they couldn't keep possession, and France came away with it in dramatic style. So the winner will play France here in Bristol next week. What a game that will be. Let's take you through the team, starting with the Red Roses, who have the skipper back. Zoe Allcroft returns from injury. She hasn't played since that opening game against the United States. Holly Aitchison's the interesting call. She starts her first game replacing Zoe Harrison, who's on the bench. Helena Rowland, she's replacing the injured Ellie Kilton with the head injury, and Kelsey Clifford in for the injured Hannah Bosserman. Kat, let's take us through those changes. Really interesting, starting at 10. That's a fascinating call by John Mitchell.
Yeah, I think he's got his eye on Holly for the semi and for the final, should they progress that far. So she's got to come in and have a go, got to have a look at her, because she's such an exciting player, and it was only injury of her ankle that was keeping her out in the earlier rounds. But Zoe Harrison is such a solid player in horrible weather, will kick to corners, so it's definitely rolling the dice a bit, but Holly is an absolute quality player.
And in Helena Rowland, they have the most versatile player on the pitch, don't they, to help out. She could slot into any position today.
Yeah, she absolutely could. She originally said she was interested in that 10 shirt, and that's what she wanted, but I think then when a tournament comes around, you're very happy just to play anywhere on the pitch. I think the biggest one for me that England are missing is Hannah Bottoman with that injury to her back in the scrum. She is fantastic, not just in the scrum but around the pitch. She'll get those jackals. So for me, she's the biggest missing player, and I know that a lot of people will be talking about Kilden and how she'll be missed, but I think in a game like this today, where it's going to be down to the gnarly stuff, Bottoman's your girl.
Helen, if we look at Scotland, without doubt, Helen Nelson is going to be pivotal at 10. She has the game that can really break up teams and watch them napping. We've got the likes of Fran McGee, who's been electric. One of the fascinating calls, though, has been the return of Christine Belisle, who before the tournament didn't feature, wasn't called up. She's now back in the squad. Give us an insight from a Scottish perspective. Where do you think they can be dangerous today?
I think, like you said there, Helen Nelson is going to be key today. We talked about the conditions, it's very rainy, there's a bit of a wind going from right to left as we stand here. and she's going to need the kicking performance of her life. I think there's been little bits where she's been a bit inconsistent, but the time is now for her to show her ability to game manage, get Scotland playing in the right places, because we've seen from a set piece these girls are dangerous. Like we said, Francesca McGee has been an absolute threat for Scotland this entire tournament. Let's get her playing in the right places, give her one-on-ones, and let's get really excited to see her with ball in hand, and let's see that battle between her and Abby Dow, because I think that's going to be electric up here.
Weather-wise today, though, how do you play it? I mean, it's going to be about set piece. It's about kick chase too, isn't it? But at the moment, we've actually got a dry pitch and dry conditions, and you've really got to read it almost minute by minute. How much are the coaches being really pragmatic in the changing room right now, telling the players how they think they should play that first 20 minutes, Kat?
Yeah, they will do, but I think it's the players on the pitch as well, and we've seen it with England where they love to play an expansive game and move the ball, but when things are going wrong, like against Australia when they were up against it, against USA in the opening game, they were a bit rattled to start with. They go to that kick to the corner and their line out game. They rely on their forwards, they will bring that in, so they're a smart team, and they'll look to go to that should there be any issues, whether it's weather, whether Scotland put on an immense amount of pressure, they will revert to type.
The cheers for the flags being unfolded in front of us here in Bristol. It's a terrific sight. 22,000 here at Ashton Gate, and so far it's dry, and there's a real sense of anticipation now, the goosebumps, the sense of nervousness, not just in the squad, in the teams below waiting in the tunnel, but in the fans watching in front of us here. And it's England who are the ones with that sense of expectation, with that sense of knowing they've got to deliver. And conversely, Lisa, when we consider it from a Scotland chance, they would have looked at that Australia game, wouldn't they? They would have seen what they can do and try and unlock England. That first 10 today, oh my God, it's going to be crucial. Oh,
massively. I think, like you said, Australia for that first 40 minutes of that last pool game really put England under a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. And like Kat said there, they had to problem solve on the move, and they had to figure out, actually, is our game plan working? What can we adapt? Because Australia are pulling us apart at certain places. And I think Scotland need to take some learnings from that game, take some little bits of how Australia really disrupted England's maul, and also maybe even take a little bit of learnings from the Canada game in terms of, well, how did Canada tear us apart, and could we maybe use that against the likes of England, and could we put them under stress defensively? Because at the moment, I don't think in this tournament so far England have really been that stressed defensively.
No, they haven't at all, and they didn't in the build-up games, some of the warm-up games. That was one of my issues with France was a warm-up game. France didn't show up. Spain, England absolutely pumped them. They didn't turn up to this tournament battle ready, and I think that can then have an impact come the battle rounds like this, whereas Scotland have been battling. That game against Wales, I think for me, was a turning point for Scotland. That for me was they often lose those close games, but they turned it over.
Here we go. The players now coming out beneath us. Some big, deep breaths from Rachel Malcolm and Zoe Allcroft as they're leading their teams out beneath us. England in their white and red striped kit, and Scotland in the dark blue. And it is just moments away, our fourth quarter-final, as the music, the fireworks, the crowd ignites here in Bristol. And just looking at the face of Amy Cockayne, wow, she looks like she means business today, the England hooker.
Oh yeah, such steady determination, and I don't know about you, Lisa, but I'm absolutely pumped. I feel ready to go out there, get my boots on, let alone call it. But this is what it's all about, the massive crowds, the fires going up. It's incredible.
Sit tight, you two aren't going anywhere. Kat Merchant, World Cup winner, Lisa Martin, a former Scotland captain, alongside me, James Burridge, here for our fourth quarter-final. And it is time for the anthems. And as Flower of Scotland finishes, England goes straight into a white huddle. They are chasing a record here today in Bristol. A 31st straight victory. Scotland have the mindset. They need the performance here in this quarter-final. Let's take you through the teams, starting with Scotland, who have got Chloe Rollie at fullback, Rona Lloyd and Francesca McGee on the wings, Emma Orr and Lisa Thompson in the centres, Helen Nelson, Leah Brebner Holden at half-back, and then up front, Bartlett, Skeldon, Belial, Emma Wassell and Sarah Boner in the second row, and a really interesting back row for Scotland, Rachel Malcolm, Evie Gallagher, Jay Conkle. This could be her final game for Scotland. She knows, she wants more. She's hoping for a semi-final. And as for the Red Roses, Helena Rowlands in at fullback for Ellie Kildunn, Abby Dow and Jess Breach, the speedsters on the wings, Meg Jones, Tatiana Hurd in the centres, Holly Aitchison gets the nod at 10, Mo Hunt at 9, Clifford Cocaine and Muir in the front three, Talling and Gallagher in the engine room second row, Zoe Ulcroft returns at 6, Sadia Kabir at 7, Alex Matthews at number 8, our referee from France, Aurélie Groiselot, the TMO, Quinton Immelman, and we are set for this fourth quarter-final. Scotland will be kicking off from left to right. The Red Roses just getting their shape. Kat Merchant, Lisa Martin, a final word from you both. These opening minutes, this is what it is all about.
Absolutely this. Both teams are so up for this. Looking at the faces in the anthems, there's enjoyment, they're looking ready for it, but they look fierce as well, didn't they, Lisa?
Oh, massively. I mean, Flower of Scotland is literally made for this rivalry. It's written for this rivalry. You can saw the steely face of a number of these players in there. They know how important these first 5 minutes are going to be, and Scotland get to kick off and get to start and apply that pressure from the off. And let's see who's going to take those first 5 minutes and make it theirs.
Also, there's some teammates out there as well. A lot of those Scotland girls playing over in the Premiership, so they know each other, they're friends, that they're playing. It's all battle today.
Put that friendship on hold for the next 80 minutes or so here in Bristol, as the referee just has one final word with Helen Nelson and Scotland in the dark blue, and the pitch is looking fantastic. Canada really impressed us in the quarter-final here yesterday against Australia. They got off to an absolutely barnstorming start. That is exactly what one of these sides want now. They want to put the foot down and they want to send a message and a statement to France, who lie in wait in the semi-final in a week's time. The clock is ready. We are ready here on 5 Sports Extra, and Scotland get us underway. And England take it outside their 22. Mo Hunt going in and digging that ball out. And it's the England forwards getting an early charge. Driving on there is Gallagher. Back in the pocket, and England thump it down the middle. And that ball is going to be greasy today. There's going to be pressure on the back threes of the respective sides as Brebner Holden pops it out to the right-hand side. Scotland now in possession, just inside England's half. To the right-hand side they go. The kicking battle today is going to be absolutely fascinating, and already Helen Nelson, you can just see how she's looking for spaces, any little holes she can find, as she's driven on by Lisa Thompson, her centre partner in crime, as the ball still with Scotland on halfway as the band strikes up. Nelson trying to thread some moves, brings in Boner very nicely in the second row, and now she kicks for the corner. Now she goes for touch and tries to put pressure on Breach, who's retreating. That is not an easy ball to kick up, and England kick it out, and that is route one, isn't it, Lisa? Absolutely perfect from the number 10.
That's a great statement of intent there. Scotland looking to get their forwards involved, get that physicality up, and again, Helen Nelson kicking at the right times, kicking on front foot ball and asking England to field that in a very difficult corner there, and Jess Breach has done well to get it out, but this is a great attacking opportunity here for Scotland off the maul, ideally.
Line out to Scotland outside the 22. Early stages here in Bristol. Full complement. England try to disrupt it, but it's taken nicely by Scotland. Now, what can they learn from what Australia tried to do? As a big early charge here for Conkle. Takes play into England's 22. They go to the left-hand side. Lovely line there from McGee, the left wing. Gains a couple more metres. Still looking, England very close to straying offside, and they're still going on here. Gallagher with a great 2 or 3 metres here for Scotland. 7 metres out. It's still with Scotland. Brebner Holden looking to the right-hand side, has a little go, tackled by England, still going, to 5 metres they go now. It's still there with Scotland, the pick up round the fringes, and Bartlett the loose head. Mo Hunt trying to slow it down for England, but Scotland now within 2 metres. It is the Scotland forwards looking to pick up round the fringes, the referee watching to see and make sure that England don't stray offside. Pick up once again. Sarah Bone in the second row, she's looking, England trying to get in low. It is there, it is waiting for the second row of Scotland. It is set up beautifully. Brebner Holden trying to call it away. It's wide there. It's Nelson trying to whip it clear, and it's come out of a Scottish hand in the end. Early pressure there by the Scots, Lisa.
Definitely, they've been doing their homework. They must have been seeing something on the videos they've done in this week, because they've been really challenging those first two England defenders and around the ruck and getting a lot of really good contact, metres beyond contact there.
Yeah, but both of us though were both up here pointing, because it was on wide, it was on to get it, they kept it in close, but they knew they were playing with that penalty advantage. They've opted to go for points here, so get points on the board, get an early 3. It's in that kicking territory. I think really smart play from Scotland in this opening. It's only been 3 minutes.
I know,
but Scotland completely dominating in their ability.
Yeah, I think this is a great, again, statement. They've been in the 22, they know how important it is to convert any sort of time in this 22 into points. This is a great way to start the game.
Nelson with the penalty, almost in line with the left hand upright. Simple sandwich through the post from Helen Nelson, and Scotland take the lead here in this quarter-final. 4 minutes gone, they lead by 3 points to 0.
Yeah, this is a really great start for the game for Scotland. I think this is what they've been looking for. They want to convert into points. They know from the game against Canada that any little mistakes or any times there in the 22 and leave without points, it can be really, really dangerous for them, and it's important they build a score now.
The restart by England, taken by Scotland, and Nelson just growing in authority in that 22. It is the forwards of Scotland now trying to drive out of the danger area. And the Hobson Awards slightly gone a little bit deeper, and England will take the line out, but that's a very, very good clearance kick.
Yeah, good exit there again. Scotland playing just some smart rugby. It's exactly what you want off of the kick-off. Just play smart, get deep out of here. So England's first opportunity now to attack just into the Scotland halfway, and we'll see what we do with this.
England decide to go quick and off the top of this line out to get some width on the ball, and Meg Jones trying to crash through. She does do, and takes it out to the 10-metre line. You can hear the crowd get excited every time she touches the ball. The kick over the top, trying to put pressure on McGee, and it's Rolly who's taken it, the fullback. Not quite sure why England decided to do that. They've just handed possession back to Scotland, who lead 3 points to 0. 5 minutes gone here in Bristol. And Cap, that was an interesting call.
Interesting call from England, but also from Chloe Rolly. Call the mark. I don't know why she didn't do that. Give herself time. She put herself under a lot of pressure there.
It's back with Scotland, who in the end kick it downfield. They haven't found touch, and it gives England another chance. Jess Breach been scoring tries for fun, as she has throughout her career. 6 tries in this World Cup for the England left wing as England attack the far flank, the far channel. That's a great tackle by Conkle, I think, on that far touchline. It's bundled into touch. Excellent defence by Scotland.
Definitely, yeah, like you said there, it's putting pressure upon ourselves. Sarah Kabea there was shooting out the line, knowing that she can put pressure on Helen Nelson if she runs at her right foot. Made Helen have to step back in and maybe not do the type of kick that she was looking for, and it gave England an opportunity to attack off transition ball. But like you say, it was a great effort and a great transition from attack into defence, and be able to get Abby Dow out on the sideline there.
Yeah, and if Scotland have been doing their homework, which I know they will, they'll be man marking those players such as Dow, because she is so dangerous. We mentioned her in the build-up and want to see a race with her and McGee. That's a race I absolutely want to see today, because I think both of them are absolutely on form and scoring tries for fun.
Rachel Malcolm, the skipper, just receiving some attention from the Scotland medic, and wow, what a record. We've been talking already so much about records, about England trying to go for a record here. Well, she has one already, the most times she has captained her country at 54. And it's that leadership in the back row. We talked about it just before kickoff as well, Lisa. Scotland have an abundance of experience in that back row. and it's made for days like today where it's going to be gritty, where it's going to be a scrap on the deck. To have those 3 players to do the donkey work is going to be so important.
Oh, 100%. The likes of Rachel Malcolm and Jade Conkle have been through the wars in a Scotland jersey. They've been through the tough times, and they know what it takes to grind out win from both a club and an international level, and it's moments like these that these mature and experienced players really need to step up and lead by example.
Scotland with the line-outs. They're 3-0 up, but they've lost that line-out. England take it, and they come on the charge to the 22, looking to get width onto it. Running hard is Hurd through the centre of the pitch. 15 metres from this near-side touchline. Hunt changes the direction and the point of attack, and England now within 5 metres. The scrum half back in the pocket. The crossfield kick meant out wide. Dow, can she make it? It was too much, but that is what will happen if you don't nail your set piece.
Yeah, so they did an overthrow there, Scotland, and England were just so quick. It was Amy Cockayne at the back, just takes it, and without a hesitation, she just passes it out to the backs. Tatiana Hurd does what she does best, does a really lovely carry to set up, and then Holly Aitchison thinks she sees Dow on that right-hand side, but just puts too much on the kick.
Scotland just taking their time for the 22. England fan out across the pitch. It's Scotland though who lead. Early stages here, 3-0 up, and the first real bit of decision making there, Kat, for Holly Aitchison. We know how this battle at 10 is fascinating. John Mitchell giving her a start today, but she wants to be creative. She wants to try and pull a few strings.
Yeah, absolutely she does, and to be fair, that was on. Dow was unmarked out wide. Had that kick been 2 metres shorter, I think that's a score.
Possession with England on halfway. Mo Hunt attacking the left channel, but it's been knocked on in contact, and Scotland will try and look to recycle. They're on their own 10-metre line, 15 metres from this near side touchline. The pass back there from Lloyd, the right wing for Scotland. Pick up and driven up, and Gallagher making sure that ball is clear. Nelson trying to get some width on it, and the kick downfield from Lisa Thompson. England take possession and try to attack the right-hand channel. It's taken by Aitchison, about 7 or 8 metres from touch, but Scotland get the penalty. Guilty, the England 10 leaser, of holding on.
Definitely, again, another reason why they probably brought Jade Conkle in to start today is her ability to get over ball and slow it down and get turnovers. She's just so physical in or around that ruck time. And again, stifling an England attack there, and hopefully continue to work their way up the pitch and rely on that set-piece dominance that they have done over the previous pool games.
Scotland just having looking at the options, and Chloe Rolly, wow, again, someone who will be relishing the opportunity. The back line, Fran McGee, one of the players of the tournament, Lisa, in terms of how devastating she's been this season, and we talked about the pace out wide for Scotland. If she can get her hands on the ball today, wow, that'd be a sight to see.
Oh, 100%. I think I've said before, the attack and the variety of attacks Scotland have had in the past 3 pool games has been great, and you want to see Francesca McGee getting the ball a little bit closer to the centre of the pitch, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be off that line out.
It isn't, because it's been lost again. Morwenna Talling came at a rate of knots off that loose ball, and Meg Jones has thumped it downfield. It's been dropped. Just wondered if that came forward off England, but the referee says play on, and Scotland take it inside their own half. They are held by 2 or 3 England forwards. Allcroft trying everything she can to hold on to it and steal it back. It's come forward off a Scotland arm, and England will attack down that right-hand channel. The ball is bundled into touch, but this set piece, the line-outs, Scotland have got to fix that quick.
Yeah, 2 in a row, lose your line out. You cannot do that against the likes of a team like England. You can't do it about any opposition when you're looking at quarters onwards. So 2 real missed opportunities there. They've done really, really well. They've got their holding on penalty, the kick for touch, lovely kick as well, but just, yeah, you can't miss line outs like that.
Yeah, 100%. It's maybe nerves, being in a situation that none of these girls have been before. But then that's where you've got to go back to the basics, go back to the banker calls that you've got, the ones that'll work. Get Rachel Malcolm up in the air as a secure option, and then just play from there, build that confidence again in that set piece.
Scotland's first quarter-final since 2002. Welcome to our friends on 5 Sports Extra, if you're just joining us here in Bristol for this 4th and final Women's Rugby World Cup quarter-final. Scotland leading England by 3 points to 0. England's first scrum. And straight with Aitchison, looking to bring in Hurd on the crash ball. Quick, England wanting to recycle this quick. They're looking for gaps, they're looking for holes. They come up to the 22. quick, clean ball taken Matthews up to the line. 8-9 metres from this near side touchline. England playing from right to left. Scotland straying ever so slightly off side. A little bit of a dog leg in defence there. And Hunt once again trying to get the quick recycled ball, and Matthews gets another touch. They're on the 22 here, England. Now waiting wide, and England trying to scythe through the middle through Jones. Picking up round the fringes, England go again. About 10 metres out here. Scotland's defence trying to slow England's ball down. Jess Breach going in at acting scrum half, picks it up and passes it away. England's front row trying to do some damage, and they gain about another 2 metres right in front of the sticks. Nice run there from Galligan. The second row, it's there for England now. Surely they're a metre or so away. Kelsey Clifford scores underneath the posts. 2 tries last week against Australia, and she gets the opening score for England today against Scotland.
Yeah, England, their first time really looking into that attacking 22, and they've come away with the try. Really great work from that pack. I think they're so patient with when it is on, and Meg Jones, the one who started it off with a lovely carry, and you can see her there rallying her team up, giving them a pat on the back.
Just waiting for the conversion. Easy pickings, England lead 7-3. Lisa, from a Scottish defensive point of view, tell us how you saw Scotland try to struggle with that cut through there.
Yeah, they did really well initially to slow it down, but it was just Jade Conkle shooting out the line and trying to put a bit of disruption in there that left a bit of a dogleg, left a gap there for Kelsey Clifford to power through. And because Scotland are trying to tackle up high and find that as a way to slow down England's ball, it's allowing England's forward to get more contact beyond, like more metres beyond contact, and it's putting that Scotland defence under real pressure to get themselves back on side to restart again.
We had 12 minutes of dry weather, and now the rain has arrived and is beginning to lash down here. It's going to get heavier, the weather forecasters say, throughout the afternoon, but it should make things interesting which team can play the wet weather conditions the best, as England clear very, very nicely through Holly Aitchison, demonstrating that she has got a boot just as good as Zoe Harrison's.
Yeah, because she'll be wanting to make her mark as well into this tournament, because as much as it's about the squad and the team, as individuals you want to be the one out there. Like, of course you'll support your teammates if you're not in the starting lineup, but you want the starting shirt.
Welcome to everyone listening on 5 Sports Extra. England leading by 7 points to 3. Scotland with the early penalty. Kelsey Clifford with the try, converted by Holly Aitchison. It is Scotland though with the line out. They are still struggling, and that's a 3rd line out in a row that they have lost. And England and Maudmuir come away with it, and they will not relent, the Red Roses, if they're going to be given this level of opportunity. They're trying to get width, and Jones looking for that ball upright and being driven on by 2 or 3 forwards. England outside the 22 to the right hand channel, and Aitchison kicking. That's a beautiful threaded kick there from the England 10, just adding that pressure, piling it on, Lisa.
Yeah, again, playing in the right areas of the pitch. Like you said, the weather has definitely turned for the worst here, so it's about using your energy effectively. Don't play too much rugby with not much gain from it, and just again, Holly Aitchison is just turning that Scotland defence, asking them to now try and exit from a set piece that they up until now have really, really struggled with.
Exactly that. England can now play with a bit of freedom. Scotland have lost 3 line-outs in a row. England can happily play the territory game. They can put it into touch because that Scotland line-out is under so much pressure. Yeah,
Lana Skeldon's got to nail this one. 5 or 6 metres from her own try line. Play safe, and it's lost again, and England will pick it up. That's 4 now for Scotland. Huge problems. England now a metre away. The pick up and drive, and a second try in 2 minutes. And Morwella Talling dots it down, and massive problems now for Scotland.
Yeah, frustratingly, the right calls are coming in at the line out. They're getting the spaces, but it's just the drills were so slow getting up in the air, which allows England to get up there, make a mess of it. And then Scotland are at 6s and 7s, trying to get themselves back into defensive shape. And then Morwella Talling just uses that power and drive to get nice and low and get under that Scotland defence and get across the try line.
Well, it's credit to England of how quickly they can turn that around. That turnover, that loose ball, they have pounced on it several times now, and they turn that into something really positive.
Aitchison steps up with the conversion attempt. I'm waiting, Kat, for the posts to light up. There we go. They took a bit of a while there. This is something Kat Mouchner and I have become massive fans of, the lit posts. We want them in every game of rugby from now on. Because on a day like today, when it is so dreary in the sky, to see the luminous green light up like that is really nice thing to see. England now on top. 14-3.
Yeah, we're not accepting anything less than full stadiums, light up posts. We want the works now. But again, me and Lisa were talking about this, how far the game has come, that there are the crowds like this, it's just amazing events.
Yeah, set out here in Bristol, 22,000 in here, and if England carry on in this vein of form, they should be back here next weekend to play France. 14-3, 16 and a half minutes gone. Lisa, when you know there's an area of your game which is not functioning, how do you try and wrestle that back?
You just try and simplify it as easy as you can. Make your calls the confidence builders ones, the ones that you've been practicing week in, week out at training, and the ones that you know you can nail when the pressure's on. Like I say, it's a big confidence thing. It's a combination of the throw from Lana Skeldon and the lifts and the jumps here. It all needs to work together harmoniously, and it's that confidence there. And a little sneaky one, I think, also helps.
It was sneaky. Not sure it was entirely straight, but it
wasn't straight.
I'm trying to be impartial, but I looked at that. We were literally dead on the line. We could see it.
Just give Scotland something, please.
I'm glad they've won a line out. That's all I'll say. But it wasn't straight.
Yeah. They got away with it. That's the diplomatic way of putting it, I think. And they have possession. That's what really matters. As they try and break England round the fringes, they are on the receiving end of some massive tackles. Oh my goodness. Matthews and Allcroft and Gallagher and everyone together is playing their part on that England forward effort, taking play beyond halfway. Scotland, though, still in possession, and Gallagher trying to respond in kind. Scotland in possession with Brebner Holden. But England they are just building the confidence. Nelson, she spots a small gap almost through the 10 for Scotland. But it is slow ball. And in the end, Lloyd, the wing, has to try and get the ball as replacement scrum half. England just fanning out, spreading out, and so Scotland have to kick. Grubber, and it's well taken out on that right-hand side. England now looking to counter-attack and go through the middle outside their 22. Scotland right over the top of it, looking for that penalty, but Mo Hunt is there. And England playing slightly precariously outside their 22. Kick downfield. It's taken by Scotland, who respond and go beyond halfway. A little bit of kick tennis here. Given the conditions, probably the sensible idea. And in the end, it is kicked into touch beyond the 10-metre line. Holly Yason just making sure. This is where you can't afford to get too far ahead of yourself, Kat. You've got to play the conditions. You may be up on the scoreboard, but one mistake and Scotland will be right back in it.
Yeah, 100% that. You don't want England trying to run silly plays out of their half just because they've got a bit of a lead, because Scotland are still very much in this. And if we take away those 4 lineouts that they've lost, it's a very different game into that.
Elena Marazot here. She did this yesterday, where she sees herself on the big screen late. She's standing up. She knows Bristol, of course. She's having a drink. She's having 2 drinks. Having 2 drinks, gets up, points her fingers to the crowd, gives them a wave. And yeah, everyone here in Bristol obviously remembers Elena very fondly. And an absolute trailblazer for women's rugby, taking it to whole new audiences. Here yesterday for Canada, Australia, lapping it up, Cap.
Well, our taxi driver on the way here, actually, he knew nothing about the rugby, that we're going to the stadium, but he went, there's an American girl that I know who does rugby. We were like, Elena Mar? He was like, yeah, that's the one. So knew nothing about rugby, knew her name, which is just fantastic, I think, to bring that to a bigger audience as well. And she has 100% brought people that weren't rugby fans into now watching rugby.
Scotland will get the scrum on the England 10-metre line. Again, their line out, they held it, but then it came forward. It was a little bit of nervousness, because it just plays on the mind, doesn't it, Lisa? Even if you really feel actually for Lana Skeldon, because it is not just the hooker's fault at the end of the day. It is a team thing, but naturally everyone's attention looks towards the hooker, hoping that it can start right from there.
Oh, 100%. You always look at the hooker because they're the ones with the ball in their hand. They're the ones that kind of dictate as to where the ball's going to be caught there. But again, it's coming down to speed. Scotland are really slow across the ground, which is really unlike them. Yeah. The likes of Sarah Bonner and Emma Wassell, that's their bread and butter. They love lineouts, like painfully love lineouts. but it's just not clicking today. And at what point can they change that? How are they going to change that? Because at the minute, it's just really, really hampering their attack.
Yeah, it's their own errors that are compounding it, and you're right, they do look slow. I also think the breakdown looks slightly slower than we're used to seeing for Scotland. They made that line break with Nelson look fantastic. The ball absolutely had to go. Me and you both, Lisa, were like pointing like that speed just has to, and it just was so slow that it meant that England managed to get round the corner and were able to defend. So Scotland need to increase the pace, sort that line out, and then we do definitely have a game on our hands.
If you're wondering where the cricket is on Sports Extra, very sadly the England-South Africa T20 match has been officially abandoned without a ball being bowled. So you've got World Cup rugby here on the BBC. England-Scotland in the fourth Women's World Cup final as Scotland kicked through. Much better tactic, really putting pressure on Mo Hunt, who had to watch that ball to the final bounce. England leading by 14 points to 3, and here's Lisa Martin.
That's the variety I think Scotland have lacked in this first 20 minutes. We've been really predictable, one pass rugby, just 9 to our forward pod, 9 to a forward pod, which is really easy to defend, and I think we just need that variety. Let's try something that England might not expect, because currently what we're doing isn't working, so we need to try and change something of this picture to find some weaknesses in this English defence.
Scotland now taking that restart, and Gallagher taking it up to the 22. Just looking for a bit of variety, but was that slightly knocked on there by Rolly. The referee, I don't think, spotted it.
Knock on.
Actually says the knock-on came from England, and it's a scrum to Scotland outside the 22.
I love, though, that this is something that we're talking about, Scotland not quite performing, and it's 14-3. Now, if you said 21 minutes in, 14-3, I think there'd be a lot of people maybe thinking England would be further ahead by this point. So Scotland really are keeping themselves in this game.
Oh, 100%, but it's the little errors that is just frustrating, because they've had possession in really good areas, but at times they're their own worst enemy. Like, they've got 56% possession, but we're not able to do anything massively positive with it. The amount of carries that we're getting taken now behind the tackle line and having to reset from there, and like Kat, you mentioned earlier, our ruck time is really, really slow. But it's frustrating, because we've seen in the previous rounds in the pool stages that Scotland can play with great tempo, they can beat teams around the corner, and they can bring their back three into games, but we're just not seeing it yet. They've not given themselves that opportunity yet.
Yeah, we saw against Canada at times in that game, Scotland really took it to them, and they're number 2 in the world. They tore Wales apart. Like, they have that really good quick game. We're just not seeing it quite yet. Now, conditions might come into speed of ball, but I don't think it comes into that speed of breakdown. I think that could definitely get sped up.
14-3, England lead against Scotland. Yes, Scotland have actually scored 14 tries in 3 World Cup games. 12 of those have come from their backs. They have the ability to produce moments of magic on a rugby pitch. And for the last 7 or 8 minutes, it's been a little bit scrappy. Great start from Scotland. They took the lead, 3-point penalty. Had England on the rack, really forcing it early on, but England have fed off the mistakes of Scotland in the line-out. 4 line-outs lost in a row, but this is a scrum to Scotland. This gives them opportunity. Just looking at the attacking options here. 2 backs to the right, 2 almost behind each other at the scrum, 2 to the left. Where will Helen Nelson direct the traffic here? Lisa looking on.
I predict it's going to go left here. You've got Francesca McGee on the left wing, and we know how dangerous she can be in one-on-one opportunities. So I think we'll have Helen Nelson and Chloe Rowley sweep around to the left-hand side if the scrum would stay up.
Now this is what you girls love. Scrums collapsing, and this is where I turn to your expertise.
As a 10 and a winger.
Yeah, in front row psychology. Cat Merchant. I
mean, I did my fair share of scrummaging in 7s, so I'm going to take that as a... It's absolutely not the same and nowhere near it. But no, there is a lot of psychology that does go into the scrum. They want to get an edge on each other. Scotland have not got the edge in the line out so far. They'll be wanting to make their mark on the scrum. Referee absolutely right, recalling it. Didn't look stable. Safety has to come first when it's rainy and it is a greasy pitch.
We try again. And Scotland feed through Rebna Holm. That is a formidable surge by England. They have just driven Scotland off the ball on their own put-in. Mo Hunt thumps the ball downfield. Oh, she gets a 50-22 as well.
Well, that's just a killer blow there in terms of the dominance England had in the scrum there. That power came all through Maud Muir, I'd say, on that one. And then Mo Hunt's getting the 50-22 and England get to attack off this opportunity.
And they are not wasting any time. They've getting width on this ball coming through. Lovely line up through the middle of the field, and England now from 122 to the next. But a slight knock-on. Found by the referee, spotted by Aurélie Groiselot. But what a run, what a line from Helena Rowland, who's been auspiciously quiet.
Yeah,
wow.
England really haven't had as much opportunity to attack, but when they do, it's a beautiful pass from Holly Aitchison. Meg Jones gets hit, player and ball, but manages to get the offload away, and just on the floor, I think there is Rowland, goes to floor, Mo tries to gather, and it just comes forwards off a scrum half's hand.
That is England right there, how they flick the switch. 4 handling errors to 1 by England, albeit in very difficult, greasy conditions here as the rain continues to fall. Nowhere near as heavy as it was at times in Canada, Australia yesterday.
Famous last words, James, because it is coming.
The eternal optimist, Cam, the eternal optimist.
You were showing me the weather earlier and saying how bad it was going to be.
The weather can be wrong.
It's true, very true.
You have many scrum under the ground. Okay, I understand the condition is difficult, but you need to stay high, okay? Yeah, I'm happy. Oh, good.
Tut.
Maud Muir and Leah Bartlett being read the riot act by the referee.
Well, Scotland are really going to want to get this sorted because England absolutely ran over the scrum last time, just complete dominance over. They actually had the penalty advantage, didn't need it because they got the 50-22 anyway. But yeah, so Scotland really need to sort that out quickly.
Yeah, and don't that front 5 know it? They've got to try and hold on here, try and find some sort of stability. And equally for Leah and Verholden, a free kick to England. And this is just another opportunity. They've got 2 tries, England, already. They are in line with Scotland's post, 10 metres out. Fresh advantage here being played, and the pick up and drive, driving round the edges now. Talling has 1 try already. Hunt chips it out, it's loose. They'll still have the penalty advantage. The pick up now from Hurd, the centre, and England now within 5 metres. Down the right flank they go. It's another knock on, but the referee will come back and probably have a word.
You're offside here or no tackler release in this on the 15. Yeah.
The referee just talking to Zoe Allcroft, giving her the options, 2 different penalties, and this is where England Cat Merchant will look to turn the screw.
Yeah, it was interesting though that they've gone for, she had 2 options for the penalties, Allcroft. One was right in the middle of the pitch by the post, other one was closer to touchline, and this is why they've picked the touchline one, because they're not interested in the 3, they've gone for the line out.
I'm no expert, but I think I know where this next movement's going.
It's written in the walls, isn't it?
The driving
crossfield kick.
Driving maul time, ladies and gentlemen. 14 points to 3. England lead. 25 minutes gone. It's taken at the top, and here comes that maul. Cockayne. It looks like it's being brought down, but England still rolled on. They're over the line, and what a surprise! England scored their 3rd try. Amy Cockayne dots it down, and England now well clear, 19 points to 3.
In knockout rugby, that is so important. You get a penalty, you opt, you go for the corner, you do the line out, you come away scoring off it. Those are the moments that you need, and especially as it gets more down this tournament. And on the flip side, Scotland, when they had a penalty, they went for a line out, they lose that line out. So that is the stark contrast so far.
It's those little moments that have such a big impact on the game and on the momentum of the game as well. The fact that, like you said, Zoe Allcroft went for a, oh, hello, TMO time.
I'm loving commentating with you. I love the energy. You're so into it. Oh, hello. Earlier, tut to the props.
I'm just trying to fit into England right now. I feel very much in the minority.
Let's hear the conversation.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
You are on the screen.
We are looking at her. The referee makes her way with her team to the big screen. Was there a knock-on by Amy Cockayne? As we look on the replay, it's Quinton
We'll just roll it back for you again.
I think they're looking at
So
that.
he's looking if the rip is connected to the jumper.
We're still slightly unsure what they're looking for.
I think they said something about the connection of the ripper from the jumper, which I'm sure someone knows something about because I don't. But I think there's a bit of a disconnect there with the jumper. The lifters come in a bit too early to pincer, so Sarah Kabea just can't get onto Rosie Galligan there.
Me, I didn't see a contact with the jumper and ripper. Yeah, the ripper. So the ripper impact directly the front lifter. So it's a clear obstruction. And at the beginning, the sack by Scotland is good. So for me, I overturned my unfair decision for Piquet against England.
So the
Anyone
key-
disagree?
No, I
Quentin?
That is correct. Sorry, Lily.
Yeah, I have a decision. Come back to me.
Okay. Back
We'll just wait for the referee to explain it to the crowd. Call.
My decision is no try, obstruction.
So the key thing there was actually that the player coming in to rip the ball to bring it back wasn't in contact with that line out lift initially, so they've come in too late. That then means they're obstruction in behind, so that's why it's been reversed.
And Scotland will get the penalty, and the score goes back to 14-3. A picture of John Mitchell on the screen looking totally befuddled by that call. But Scotland, well, they will be extremely happy, Lisa.
Yeah, I'll be definitely breathing a sigh of relief there in terms of getting away with one. But again, it's what can we build from this line out. We need to be playing in better areas of the park because a lot of the time we are spending struggling getting out of our own 22 and out of our own half, whereas that's given England loads of opportunities to attack from.
And equally, Kat, England have got to be careful if they are going to go forward to the latter stages and try and win this title. Those elements of the game, they have got to be squeaky clean.
Well, we all remember the last World Cup, they lost it in the line-out, which they were so normally so good at, and they got so that might be haunting them as well.
Scotland win the line-out. Another short one does the job, and they're in possession. They go deep. Nelson is doing exactly what Lisa wants, trying to get it out of their own territory. It's taken though by England. Breach. England looking to try and get some width of the forward pod. Here it comes, right through the heart they go. England up to halfway. Mo Hunt, out it comes, and now England have options wide. Dow is waiting out there on that right hand wing, and again England just playing the territory game. The ball just sitting up, putting pressure here on Nelson. Nelson's going to try and get herself, she passes it out in the end, and Scotland do find touch, do they? Yes, they do. That's a great finish in the end. Heart was in my mouth for Helen Nelson there as she tried to dance her way out of trouble. We've seen that go wrong so many times, but job done. England 14-3, line out on halfway.
Definitely using her skiing ability and skills there to get herself out of bother there. But yeah, again, we're looking at these conditions. Is it maybe a bit more sensible to get the ball along the floor, get that hitting grass, so we can then trouble the English back three into not having a clean take?
Line out ball off the top, won by England on halfway. Here come the heavy hitters through the centre of the field. Alex Matthews this time, skipper last week, and a World Cup winner, of course, all those years ago when she was just in her early 20s. Now she's doing the goods once again, driving on, and here comes another charge from the England engine room. Out wide it comes, looking options what on this left-hand wing. Lovely little kick through here from Breach. Taken brilliantly and bravely by McGee, who slid in to take that possession, and that was a really, really important bit of defensive work by the Scotland wing. England 14, Scotland 3. The bread and butter once again from Scotland, kicking it long downfield, but they haven't found touch. It's taken by Holly Aitchison. Wide it goes, and now Abby Dow. Abby Dow taking the tackle. 2 tackles in the centre of the pitch. England need someone to clear that possession. Hunt a little slow to that. And the forwards drive on and just carry it another metre or two to the left-hand side. England not really hitting the line with a huge amount of pace, and Scotland just defensively sucking in the England players outside the 22. To the middle they go. England have knocked that on. Knocking it on there through Kelsey Clifford, and defensively, job done by Scotland.
Where is it?
And we have another
we have
TMO.
a right tackle on the 5, so it's penalty against you.
Oh, and that's Sarah Boner who's been singled out for a high tackle there, Lisa, just as Scotland had done so well.
They had managed to do really well to hold on to that England attack there. They got some really good yards up there because Rona Lloyd had bit in there. She tried to go for a double tackle and it wasn't really necessary, giving Jess Breach a nice little break up there. But unfortunately, again, compounding another error there. Rona Lloyd's just high up in the tackle, and player safety is paramount right now. And if you're going to be in that position, you're putting yourself in danger of penalties coming.
Emika Kane is playing this line out quickly. She was in position, ready to throw, and England will have tapped that one back, not cleanly done. And the skipper Allcroft brings it up. Oh, she is lifting the knees and charging through. Real captain's run, that one. It's taken on by her. The drive on by Jones, centre of the pitch. England lead 14-3. They've had one try ruled out. They're now within 2 metres. Make that one. The referee's there. Hunt looking to get it clear. The pick up and drive, they're still short, England, by the right hand post. Options left and right for the Red Roses. Offside advantage being played. England will have another 3 as the forwards once again looking to try and find that white line. Hunt, out wide she goes, over the top, in the corner, Abby Dow dots down, and England do have their 3rd try.
And when you've got the Scottish woman next to you doing a chef's kiss at England scoring in the corner because of how beautiful actually that run of play was. Really flat pass across there from Aitchison over to Dow, and that's what England are so dangerous at. When they do move it wide in horrible conditions, Scotland were defending really well around the tight areas, so absolutely smart play, that pass over the top, and that is what Holly Aitchison brings you. She gives you that edge. She will go for that slightly riskier pass, and it pays off when you got a player like Dow outside who finishes for fun.
It's just Holly Aitchison's array of passes that she can do there, and it's also the vision and seeing that Chloe Rowley had bit up, she'd come up high, so actually she's not the most vertically blessed, so it's quite easy to get the ball over the top of her to someone like Abby Dow, and she is a natural born finisher in those sort of opportunities and places.
She might say touche to you about the height, but yeah.
My nickname is merely ironic these days.
Shorty, for anyone listening that's not sure. But no, I think Holly Aitchison, we spoke about her selection, what she can bring, and that is what she can do, the way that she links play, and I think she's just such an exciting player to unlock the backs. Unleash the backs. Unleash. That's the one I meant.
You can unlock and unleash.
Both. Unlock and
both.
Unleash them.
Yeah, let's have both. 8 minutes till half time. England 19-3 up. And there has been some criticism of the England back line as Kat was discussing there. So that was a bit of a statement there. Holly Aitchison just reminding John Mitchell, right, if you do want to pick me at 10, this is why. This is what I can do. My goodness, they've got a star player in Zoe Harrison on the bench. Many thought she should have been starting today, Kat, given the conditions, given the situation. But, I mean, an abundance of riches for John Mitchell.
Yeah, it's that, and I think it's giving players opportunities when they have been injured, because I think you come into a World Cup and you have he said he'd picked his pool teams before the World Cup even started. Like, players would have known what they were supposed to do. Injuries, however, come in and they misplace that a little bit, because when it comes to knockout rugby, it's playing your best team and trying to rotate enough to give people rest and make sure they're fresh.
The line-out's still a problem for Scotland, and Paul Bryan-Easton, as he looks forlornly from the coach's bench, there's nothing he can do, and England capitalising on it and kicking downfield. Another really difficult grubber kick for Scotland as they're trying to get themselves out of trouble. They're now on their 22. Really clever kick from Jones. Scotland kicking it downfield. I think the ball might have been, they couldn't go for touch, it's gone straight back into England, but they've knocked on halfway. But the referee says it's gone backwards, so Aitchison can keep playing, take play to the 10-metre line. Scotland have held it up, there's a maul there, so England have got to try and get that loose on the deck as quickly as they can. Hunt helped exactly with that, and England peeling away. Jones, 2 or 3 metres from the far side touchline. Scotland, though, get the penalty.
I think that was just off the feet there, the breakdown, but again, it was really good scramble defence there by Scotland. I don't know if you could hear over the mics, but Evie Gallagher and Helen Nelson were shouting at the ref, when is it a maul, when is it a maul? They're trying to keep that ball up in the air so that if it goes down, Scotland get that easy turnover, but unfortunately O'Reilly is just letting it play a little bit longer than Scotland wanted to be. But again, let's see if we can get this line out functioning again.
I just think, like, they've now messed up 6 line-outs. They've got a penalty, they kick for a line-out. What are you thinking? I would tap, I would run it, I would keep it in hand, then I'd kick it long and have a foot race rather than go for the touchline. Now, hopefully for Scotland, they nail this and shut me up. But decision making wise, it's a crazy decision.
Yeah, at what point do you actually start backing your scrum if you can go quickly? But Emma Wassell's got a Pam to that, thankfully, so let's see if we can get a bit of a strike play.
Wassell does well, and Lana Skeldon, Scotland's most capped hooker, can breathe a massive sigh of relief as the Scots trying to get it down this right-hand side, but it's come straight off the chest, and England will look to try and take advantage. Rowland kicks it downfield. At what point will the referee say advantage over? It's taken by Scotland, centre of the pitch. They've just kicked that straight down the middle to Abby Dow, the try scorer, looking for a 50-22, kicking towards the corner. That's got a wicked bounce, and she has got exactly what she wanted.
She's sprinting here as well. She's looking to try and take a quick one, which she's gone for.
Oh, it was on a plate. It was on a plate for Holly Aitchison, who's just laughing at the referee and saying, come on, how can you not give that? And the crowd voicing their displeasure. Abby Dow saying, we got it right.
I want to see it again because you could see it. Abby Dow, she got the 50-22, fantastic. She then carries on sprinting. You could see she wanted to take it quickly, but not sure why she wasn't allowed. Did it touch aside?
No, I think she's maybe just saying that the line-out was marked because there was a Scotland defender there, but again, that could go either way. I would happily would have let that play, to be honest, because that's the rugby smarts, you know.
Yeah.
Abby Dow's made that effort and got there, knows the rugby laws, and wants to be rewarded for that, but Scotland, they just need to be switching on a bit more.
Particularly in these last 4 minutes before half-time. We've already seen in one quarter-final today how these minutes are so important. Ireland had over 30 phases of possession against France, and they couldn't find a way through. They were 13-0 up at the time. Had they scored that point, that try, even if it was another 3, it could have really played cat in the minds of the French and just thought this game is too far ahead. In the end, ultimately, it was one of the reasons it cost them a place in the semis.
Yes.
And Scotland have to be careful here. 19-3 down on the board, 3.5 minutes to half-time.
Yeah, absolutely. They want to keep England out before half-time. That would be a good win for them, given where they are in this position.
England get the penalty from the scrum. And I want to give Lisa Martin a hug because she knew what was coming there, and it's a really difficult one. You've got phenomenal power coming through, haven't you? And you just want to get that ball out as quickly as you can, Lisa.
And that's the thing there. You just want to feed it as quick as you can, get it to number 8's feet and get it away as quick as possible because you know England have dominance there. But CB there, Christian Belial, just under the pressure and took a knee because you couldn't take the pressure.
England with the line out, 5 metres out, taken brilliantly by Talling. Scotland have kept them to this near side, far side touchline. Cockayne has it, the England hooker, waiting, just looking at the option. She wants to stay as tight as she possibly can, and then maybe she'll dart away. Instead, Hunt says, no, I'm having that, and she passes it out. The back line try and pick it up, but it's knocked on, and Scotland could counter-attack here. They kick it downfield, and this could be a foot race as 4 England players scamper back.
No advantage. Double knock on.
But the referee says there's no advantage.
How?
The first one
Apparently a double knock on. Don't know where that's kind of come about for, but you know, I was absolutely gassed for a foot race there with Rona Lloyd.
There was a Scottish knock on after the England one.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense because otherwise, so we're just watching a replay here. So there's a knock on from Aitchison, and then Scotland, we didn't pick it up at live. There was a little knock on there because actually Scotland decided to kick it. There was a foot race on, would have absolutely been, no matter even if England get it, I still think that's advantage because at least it's up that end of the pitch. But actually the knock on, right call from referee.
I'm not entirely sure if it's scrum right now in the middle of their own 22 is what Scotland want to be going from at the minute, but again, let's see if we can get the ball in and out as quick as humanly possible and build an exit and get ourselves out of this dangerous area.
Yeah, what? Just over a minute left here in Bristol. 3 tries from England if you're just joining us. Clifford, Talling and Abby Dow. Scotland, though, started brightly. They have to hold on. They must get this ball out the scrum. The England surge is there. The pressure is on. The knockout has come from knock-off from Scotland. And now here comes the whip. It's there for Breach. Can she pick it up? Dances and passes to Jones. Last minute here of the first half. Scotland trying to counter-drive. England looking hungry, looking dangerous. Hunt, lovely delayed pass from Mo Hunt, and diving over again is Clifford. She must think this is easy. That's 4 tries in 2 games.
Yeah, she's been incredible. I said before the game they might miss Bottoman, but
Kelsey Clifford has other ideas. She's been absolutely phenomenal. Great lines of running. The backs, what I love, it's not pretty. That ball went to floor. Meg Jones puts a little toe to it. Jess manages to gather it. They do offloads that aren't the prettiest necessarily, but it doesn't matter because they just make it work. And Mo Hunt at the back there picking off the base. And then that line from Clifford, that out to in, nobody is stopping her there.
Absolutely not. I mean, I remember playing with her at Saracens when she was first coming through, and she wasn't allowed to play front row to start with, so she was actually packing down at number 8, which is terrifying to as a 10.
Absolutely
Seeing an 8 pick and go, and you're like, oh no, that's a back row tackle, that is.
Half time and an emphatic finish from the Red Roses. 26 points to 3. They run down the tunnel because they have finished that brilliantly. Some smiles on the faces. Some of the England backs still staying out on the pitch. I can see Meg Jones with the skipper Zoe Yulcroft, Holly Aitchison and Mo Hunt. It's always quite refreshing to see that, isn't it? The players are actually trying to figure out, problem solve, and just make sure that whatever's happened in the last few minutes, they've sorted it out themselves before they take it into the tunnel.
Exactly that. So Oldcroft and Meg, part of the leadership group, alongside 9 and 10 with them to actually have their chat, so there's a clear delivery to the rest of the team rather than everybody talking at once. They'll have the really key moments that they want to get across.
Lisa, from your perspective of Scotland now, they've been under the sticks, they're now running back down. What's the kind of conversation they need to have with Brian Easton, their head coach? Because first 5 minutes was brilliant from Scotland. Everything a Scottish fan hoped they could see, but sadly, the set piece has cost them.
I think you've said it there. The set piece has been a real thorn in their side. He's probably going to chat about what the problems are. How can we simplify it? How can we retain ball and start building from that again? Like you say, the first 5 minutes, we looked good. We're playing in the right areas. But I think when we're kicking off and we're kicking long, we're giving really, really easy possession to England. And Holly Aitchison's under no pressure whatsoever to then just clear her lines, and then play starts again from the halfway line. So Scotland really haven't gained much territory there, and playing off a set piece that is under the cosh, is struggling. You've got to think, how can we start problem solving? What's a new way that we can start attacking? Because what we're currently doing isn't working.
Lisa, top stuff. Lisa Martin, the former Scotland captain, Cat Merchant, England World Cup winner, alongside me, James Burridge, here at Ashton Gate in Bristol for our 4th Women's World Cup quarter-final. England leading by 26 points to 3 at half-time, and the winner will play France, who somehow got over the line against Ireland in Exeter in one of the games of this year's tournament. They won 18 points to 13. Now, time to hear a bit more from our special series on the Rugby Union Weekly podcast of 2 stars from the Red Roses squad. Hannah Bottoman and Meg Jones teamed up with comedian Harriet Kemsley to bring you a real insight into the life of a rugby player. No topics are off limits, so go and check it out if you haven't already. Here's an extract from the latest episode, all about Meg and Hannah's life before rugby.
Did you both have an unusual job before rugby became a full-time thing?
I think you're better than me. I didn't really work. I was just a school kid.
You've never had a proper job.
I'm on the dole. Since I was 17, I've been in the professional setup.
See, I have a friend in comedy that's never had a proper job, and it's just kind of baffling. Did you have a job when you were as a teenager?
No, I didn't. No,
so I just done anything
did lots of sports. Yeah, I had a privileged life.
That's
I must say.
mad.
Yeah. Okay. During COVID, I was an Amazon driver.
Okay.
Yeah, because
that must have been a real wake-up call.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, toilet breaks not really a thing. So yeah. You're in at 5 a.m. and then you probably leave about 4 p.m. without having to wee. I was really good though. I was really good. I was so good. They wanted to do a documentary on me. But then rugby got back on the card, so I was like, gotta go.
Sorry, who decided that they wanted to do a documentary on
Sorry,
me?
that
my manager.
My
manager. He was
does
like,
your
you
manager
are
have
so
that
good.
power?
Well, I don't know. He was maybe,
and what makes you
maybe
good
he was
at
just
it?
really good at it. I was super fast.
I was going to say, is it like the speed of which you get
and the
passes
quality
out? Quality of
because
delivery.
people do get annoyed if you just dash them over. They do complain.
Right.
Because you're quite strong as well, so you can lift things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and put things in envelopes.
I'm not sure if it would be the most exciting documentary.
No, it was horrendous. The biggest issue is, I'll tell you what, when people buy alcohol on Amazon,
You have to get the date of birth.
yeah, but you have to use their actual date of birth because they've put it in Amazon.
Yeah, so you
blah,
have
blah,
to
blah.
get it from them, yeah.
So you're asking this 86-year-old woman, hi, can I get your date of birth, please? Door closed. So you got to guess. So I had to guess most of the time. But that would have been a strike on my name because you can only give alcohol, obviously, to... Yeah, it was tough. It was really tough.
So did you have to do that because obviously rugby...
Because it was... we got made redundant.
You got made redundant?
Yeah, during COVID, yeah. So then I just thought, pick up an extra £100 a day.
Did you get, what's it called, furlough?
We got furloughed.
You got furloughed.
Yeah.
Seven. I was playing sevens at the time, and that didn't.
You didn't?
No, we did for a bit, and then it got cut. Yeah,
That's scary if you've never had another job in your life and your livelihood's like gone away.
I know. I just thought I was going to be an Amazon delivery driver for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but you would have been really good at it.
I was really documentary.
You would have worked your way up. You would have been manager role in no time.
So right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me in my working life. That's what I would have done
So
before.
how long did you do it for?
8 weeks, something like that. not
Oh,
long.
okay. This is, I think you're over-egging it a little bit.
8 weeks. It was tough. It was tough.
Yeah.
I mean, how long did COVID go on for? Like 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, I did 8 weeks of that. I didn't even do a newspaper round.
I didn't do a newspaper round though.
No.
What was your first job, Hannah?
My first job was I worked in a harvester.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get to eat the food?
Yeah.
What was your favourite meal?
I liked a mixed grill from there.
Ah,
Obviously,
nice.
they're famous for their rotisserie chicken and the salad bar. Obviously, there's not just salad on the salad bar. There's like pasta and stuff. So I would get
Disclaimer.
non-salad bits.
Just pasta.
And I would eat it, yeah. And I would pepper the chefs. You've got to make friends with the chefs.
Okay.
Because at the end of shift, whatever's left over.
You'd be like the stray dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
nice.
little bit, yeah.
Going around.
So yeah, I did that for...
So what were you, a waitress?
Yeah, waitress, yeah.
Do you think they could
Front
make a
of house.
documentary about you?
They probably could have, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I was actually very good at it.
Yeah, okay.
Bet you're good at like carrying all the plates.
Yeah,
all the
I was really good at carrying the plates.
Did you ever do Greek night there?
No, never did Greek night there. As a waitress, though, you make the desserts.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
What were you
really
making?
Yeah,
fun. Like
that's
all the
nice.
Sundays and stuff.
I would like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
really, really enjoyed that
See,
part.
I was a waitress, but I was really bad at it. I once.
It's the dyspraxia,
It's
isn't
the
it?
dyspraxia. I once spilled soup on this woman's
Oh
head.
God!
Oh, shut up.
On her head.
It was
I thought you were going to say lap.
No,
On her head.
It was, you've never seen someone more covered in soup. Like, it was the middle of the day. She was like dressed up for this business
Oh,
meeting that she
no,
was having,
Harriet.
and then it was like
No.
green soup. She was like, she was completely covered, and like she was like very angry.
Yeah. No,
Rightly.
yes, I
but
think
then I
that's
was
fair.
so overwhelmed that I started crying, and so then I ran into the kitchen, and then she ended up coming out having to apologise to me. And I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
this isn't
Perfect. So
this
just
isn't the way
turn
it
on the
should have gone.
waterworks and you're all good.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, she was like, I'm sorry, I was just a bit overwhelmed with the soup on my head and it was
Yeah.
quite hot. And I was like, yeah, that's
She
fair.
had 4 degree burns from
yeah,
it.
I burnt my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that ended quickly then. Was that the end?
How
of
long
your...
did you do that for? Yeah.
yeah, it was a couple of weeks later. It kind
Fine.
of we parted ways. Did you have any other jobs? Hannah?
Yeah, I was a painter and decorator.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
useful life skills.
Yeah,
that is
proper van life. So I had the harvester first, and then I started working as a painter and decorator, but more like I was an apprentice essentially, and I worked for just one of my mum's friends who had a female painting and decorating company. That sounds like there's loads of women work. It was just her, but then obviously
But she
brought
was
me
female.
on board. But she was female.
Yeah.
So yeah, did that for a bit, and they crossed over. So I was working from like 7 until like 4, doing the painting and decorating. And
Sorry,
then
I thought you were saying age 7 to age 4. I was like, that's mad. And
Benjamin Button.
the harvester hires 7-year-olds now.
7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah,
right,
and then I go and do like the night shift at the harvester.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I
And
was-
what age was this?
18, but pre-rugby. Well, I was playing at the time. Well, actually, no, I wasn't playing, really. And then kind of got back into it a little bit, sacked off the harvester, just did the painting and decorating, started playing rugby a bit more. And then, sorry, this is so boring.
This is what we want. This is what we want on the
is
podcast.
it what we want? The woman that hired me, brought me on, the plan was that she was going to hire me to the point where I was good enough to continue running the business and doing the jobs for her so she could have a baby.
And then you sacked her off.
And then I got a contract from England and sacked her off at the point where I was good enough probably to do it by myself.
Yeah. So you went to college to study rugby? Is that right?
Yeah, we went to Hartbury College. Bots
both
actually
of us
went as
went
well.
there.
Both of you went there.
Yeah.
It was kind of like at the time. There's a bit more now, but it was like an academy, a rugby academy for women.
So
for
it's like
girls.
when you're 16, if you're showing like potential, then you go to this
you get
academy.
selected. There's a whole
Yeah.
trial process. You get to do a BTEC or an A level, and then you go through the whole system. And it was a selection process. So it was kind of your first dose of professionalism. At the age of 16, and it's pretty much like a uni.
To find out
yeah.
because I remember I had a boyfriend that liked playing football, and then he like would do all the scouting stuff, and like
Yeah.
I think he played just like for the county or whatever. But it was like a big deal. Like at that age, that is the kind of age where you realise if you can take it.
And and also it was and it was basically
It was
being
like
at uni.
It was being at uni at 16, so it was a bit dangerous actually.
Yeah. But best times of our life, I'd say.
Yeah.
Well, my life. I wasn't there when you were.
No, it was really good.
It's a brilliant podcast, and it's definitely worth tuning in. Hannah Bodeman, Meg Jones, Harriet Kemsley, no topics off limits. Definitely listen back to the collection from the tournament so far. We're live here in Bristol and Ashton Gate as the rain is arriving once again. Oh, I don't envy the rugby players today. It's really tricky conditions, but England looking pretty. 26-3 up at half-time. James Burridge, Kat Merchant and Lisa Martin, your team here for this fourth Women's Rugby World Cup quarter-final. Kat, we talked about those last minutes before half-time. The first 10 at the start of the next lot, just as important, aren't they? England can't afford to sit back. They've got to put their pedal to the metal.
Yeah, exactly, because they've got to get this game done, and they've got to win it and put that things right that maybe they would be wanting to fix from possibly some of the pool games. But they're looking forward as well now. At this point is when you start to, even if you don't mean to, you will start to creep towards next weekend, towards that semi-final against France.
Definitely, you felt Canada yesterday against Australia. It was in their mind, wasn't it? That second half, it was very stodgy and slow.
Yeah.
They were nowhere near as clinical as they were in the first half. Easier to say, not as easy to do.
Yeah, it's a sense of urgency, because especially Canada yesterday, we saw it. They came out absolutely firing, and that second half, the urgency just wasn't there, because you can't fake urgency, and you have to be such an incredible team to be switched on for a full 80. But England will be wanting to do that.
The bench as well, Lisa, bound to play a part as a result. And just looking at some of the names from an England perspective, the experience of the likes of Abby Ward, the physicality, the dynamism of Maddie Fianati. Scotland too will want to make sure their bench comes on at the right time. It's about using it when you think it's right. So big calls for Brian Easton to make early in the second half.
Oh, 100%. I think England's caps on their bench is over double what Scotland have, so they have plenty of experience to call upon. But like you say, Brian Easton will want to be using his bench at the right time and wants him to make an impact. I wouldn't be surprised if there's maybe a couple of changes at half-time to try and lift the levels again, because Scotland have been so passive, and they need players to stand up now and take this game by the scruff of the neck, because we don't want to sit there and roll over and make this easy. We want to put a good account of ourselves to round off this World Cup, and I think that first half performance there doesn't reflect how well we've done up until this point.
And we were talking about it off air. Sometimes you feel with England's side show too much respect. Have Scotland showed that in that first half?
I think massively so. Obviously, a lot has been talked about the history of this fixture, and England have won 32 of the last 34. And Scotland have been so passive in their defence. They're letting England come at them. They're allowing England to make so many more metres. I think they've made 300 more metres than Scotland have in almost the same amount of carries, but there's been no dominant hits from Scotland. Whereas before, we're talking about the hits that Evie Gallagher was putting in previous rounds and how they stepped up to the physicality that Fiji brought them, but at the minute, we're just not seeing that from Scotland today, and we'd like that to see that change in the second half, and I want to see a big hit somewhere.
Yeah, and even players like Sarah Bonner, she quite often will put in a huge hit, won't she? And we're used to seeing that from Scotland. They are a physical side, but this rain, I'm just looking down there, is so fat. Raindrops are falling now. This is going to be absolutely savage
it's a
for the
deluge,
second
isn't
half.
It?
Yeah.
It's an outcome England. They might as well, the players, they're holding out their hands as if to say, should we go swimming? Because it kind of feels, it feels like a day to get the swimming trunks and the swimming costumes on, because I think I just saw, hilariously, I saw Rosie Gallagher take, are we actually playing in this?
Yeah, she's got her arms. Oh, is she enjoying Bon Jovi? I'm not sure because she's clapping as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is quite savage now.
I'm quite glad to have been retired to not be doing this right now because rain is not my friend.
Welcome to the dark side, Lisa. up in the back end of the stadium. England with the ball, and Bon Jovi still in full cry. There is something quite magical, isn't there, about the rain lashing it down, and you can sing Bon Jovi at the top of your voice.
From up here, yes.
Yeah.
Very magical.
I think the
As
players
a
are
winger
loving
on the
it.
pitch.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Can't do anything else. They haven't been given the green light yet to play this second half. Well, thank you for joining us. We're set, we're ready. So too are England and Scotland. It is the Red Roses who lead by 26 points to 3. And we're back underway. As Nelson kicks it long downfield. First score, absolutely crucial for these two sides. There's a good kick from the 10 for Scotland. There's England now in their 22. Kick long, downfield, fine touch and take play up to halfway as we look at Helena Rowland. Didn't really feature a huge amount in that first half hour, Helena Rowland. One good break, but just such a steady presence in that backfield, Kat.
Yeah, just really calm, composed, but then she is that versatile player. She can play 10 out like anywhere in that back line, so really useful.
Now the Scotland line out under real pressure in the first half. How can they fare? They take a nice line out, nice take by Malcolm at the back, and now a chance to try and gain some yardage through the centre. To the right flank they go. Nice inside line. That's a good ball. That's a good line from Emma Orr, the outside centre. And Scotland now to the right-hand side, trying to drive it again. Another touch from Malcolm. It's come out the back loose, and it's picked up by Gallagher. Calling for it now. This little pod of 3 Scotland forwards. This is when you wonder if they might put a little chip kick through, put some pressure on here. They're playing it fast and flat to that England line and go beyond halfway. They're 26-3 down, Scotland. Can they back themselves? They drive Nelson a little bit further on. There's 4 players to the left. England have 2 players waiting. Cockayne was 1, Jones the other, and now Scotland being pushed back. And so the kick from Chloe Rolly had to come, but it's gone straight down the throat of Aitchison, who was waiting for it. And she will try and kick a 50-22. It's taken outside Scotland's 22. And they kick once more as the rain has eased. And England now outside their 22, running it, looking for a little bit of space. Scotland have taken it though, and there is space in that backfield, which McGee has witnessed. Didn't quite get the length on that she would have wanted. Rowland replies. This is proper kick tennis. Nelson now tries it downfield. It's taken by Aitchison, and now England trying to find a gap. It's a little bit of football taken there. Kick downfield by Thompson, the centre, over the top. That's a great take, two-handed by Abby Dow. Who is going to blink first here? Back to the 22 and Scotland. And now they come again. The chance down from Dow. Abby Dow pounces. Abby Dow will back herself. But that's a terrific tackle. Brilliant tackle there from Emma Orr. Had to be the knock-on from Scotland. We talked about the blink. Abby Dow was there, but that was a critical tackle, Lisa, there.
Massively critical tackle there. I think it was an interesting decision by Lisa Thompson there. She caught the ball in her own 22, quite easily could have kicked the ball straight out and stopped this kicking tennis we had there, but no, decided to run a little bit, and then Abby Dow just with that charge down. But Emma Orr, again, showing why she is such an integral part of the Scotland team, still at such a young age.
Yeah, I think that was so important to get back and do that. But you're right, that from within the 22, that's happened twice now. The very first few minutes it happened for Scotland, and then that one. Just mark it, take your time. Just, you don't need to put the pressure on yourself.
The frustrating thing is that's come from 2 of the most experienced players that Scotland have in their backline. You expect them to, know how to stabilise the ship, know how to, play the game in the right areas and what the right decisions are. And that's, again, these are the players you want to have stepping up, and at the minute we're just not quite seeing that.
The thing about kick tennis as well, though, it's boring to the eye, but you know that one small mistake. Don't look at me as
I'm a 10. This is like my ideal bit.
It's the most boring thing you can watch.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You look and you think, oh god, this is going on forever. But you know that one small mistake, the game switches in an instant, and one team will pounce. And it's now put Scotland under huge pressure here, 5-6 metres from their own try line. And Mo Hunt just looking back, having a quick last conversation, a couple of words of Holly Aitchison. England have got the full complement of backs to the left of this scrum. Mo Hunt, 3 minutes into the second half, feeds the England pack, holding it. Scotland have done well, and it's Hunt who gets it out to Aitchison, who's just knocked it on. But England get the penalty because Scotland brought it down. Whoa. Just wonder, Holly Aitchison, of all the mistakes to make.
Yeah, they've opted for scrum again on that penalty, and why wouldn't you when you're putting so much pressure onto that? But yeah, that was one of those. I think Holly took her eye off the ball, potentially was looking at the try line before she had it. Yes, yeah.
Second chance for England to scrum, and Scotland gathering themselves. This is so important if they can try and withstand this next couple of minutes of England pressure. They are 5 metres from Scotland's try line, to the right of the post. England in their all-white strip, playing left to right in this second half. Tryson, Clifford, Talling and Dow. 2 for Clifford, in for Hannah Bottoman, and that scrum is just motoring again. Scotland have come up. This could be a penalty try, or one for Matthews, and the referee says no. It was there on a plate for Alex Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews just knocks that one on, can't quite take it, and 99 times out of 100 she scores that one. But I think we have mentioned the greasy ball quite a few times, but it really is just that 1% difference.
1 England, 1 HIA substitution.
HIA, the mouth guards have flashed, and that means that Kelsey Clifford is going to come off and just get seen to by the medic here. Brilliant piece of tech this, isn't it? That for those who are not aware of it, that these mouth guards the players use when they flash, it indicates there could be a clash or a collision. We were talking about it yesterday, Kat.
Yeah.
What a brilliant piece of technology.
Oh, so important. I retired because I had too many concussions, and I love how the game has developed to make it safer for players. And it is great because first and foremost, that is the most important thing about rugby: player safety, and then it's the game.
Line out to England. And Amy Cockayne just wanting maybe a drier towel, just going through the process, making sure she can get as much grip for this line out as possible. England 6 metres or so, maybe from this near side touchline. Cockayne to the front, taken, and the maul set. Scotland have held them at bay well, but now England crab it to the left-hand side. Bonner has to retreat and get back. Hunt is saying there are a couple of Scotland players in the way. England keeping it, and they're driving over. The 5th try is secure. And they didn't panic there, Kat, did they? I mean, it didn't quite. Scotland held them for about 10 seconds or so. Cockayne gets another try to the tally. But it's really impressive to see a side that when it doesn't quite work at the start, they still have the patience to find a way to score. Yeah,
whether they just back themselves completely, and if plan A isn't working, they go to plan B. And the thing is, it does not have to look pretty, because you have to say some of the plays that New Zealand have done, that Canada have done, we've seen some really fantastic, lovely, wide plays. England, I don't think, have looked all that pretty today with the style of rugby they've played, but it doesn't matter, it works. And another one there, slotting over, adding an extra 2 points. But yeah, a knockout rugby, you just need to win. That's all you've got to do, and England are just so good at doing what they do well.
England are just showing the sheer experience they have in being in games like this. They've been in multiple knockout games, quarters, semis, finals, and they're just showing their experience that they know how to win a game. Scotland are maybe just showing a little bit of naivety in terms of not being in such positions before, but there's got to come a time they've got to try and break this momentum. They've got to try and change things, and they're starting that now with a couple of changes I think they brought on.
Yeah, Jade Conkle is substituted, so too Christine Belisle, and Jade Conkle, wow, what a career. it's come to an end. She has announced this week that today will be her last for Scotland, making her debut back in 2013, and what a career, 75 test matches for Scotland, and she is substituted as England try and run it out of their 22 slightly dangerously, and because it was passed back into the 22, it will be a line out to Scotland inside England's 22.
Yeah, an error there, not knowing exactly where the ball's come from, just can't end up doing that, and there's just, yeah, there you go, the stadium giving a shout out to Jade Conkle and a zoom in on her.
Very emotional moment for Jade. You can see the tears, you can totally understand it. What a start. Are there hugs all round for Jade Conkle? What a career, what a role model. And she puts her hand up to the crowd.
There's Donna Kennedy there as well, going over to give her a big hug, which is amazing. Most capped Scotland player, male or female.
I mean, she took on the mantle, I think, of that 8 jersey off of Donna Kennedy, and has definitely, like she said, put it in a better place. And yeah, like you say, she's been a trailblazer for the Scotland squad for a number of years.
Brilliant line out, thrown all the way to the back. Lisa Martin's heart must have been in her mouth.
Finally!
It worked. We weren't seeing that in the first half, but more of that, please. From a Scotland perspective, 33-3 down, Scotland's pack 7 metres from England's line. Brebner Holden trying to screen the orders, try to keep it moving. Dead ball now, and so it's the back line trying to bring some pace. Nelson spots a gap. Nelson using those quick feet of hers. England form that defensive line. Brebner Holden just sniping away, looking around the fringes. And now it's the pack's turn to pick up and drive to the right-hand side, underneath England's posts. Repeated pickups. Malcolm again, she has a try. Gallagher is there. And now they recycle. Was there a knock on? No, it's gone backwards, said the referee. England on top of that. It did come off a Scottish hand. Mo Hunt racing up. And England can breathe again inside their 22. And they might even have a little chance of running this out to that left-hand wing. Jess Breach hasn't had too many chances to run the ball with purpose. She manages to loop the ball back into play. But Scotland, are they all there for a moment? The ball just squirted out of that rut. And Scotland do have 2 players over the top of it. England counter rut. Zoe Aldcroft just very calmly comes over and says, I'll take care of this. Passes it back. England still in their 22. And England still looking to play and get this out wide. Jones, show and go from Jones, trying to get the pace there. Gets it away. And Dow kicking it downfield. Long kick. Taken by Emma Orr. Evades the first tackle. Nice bit of play by the outside centre, who puts it down the middle. And England retreat through Aitchison to their 22. That was something which gave the Scottish fans something to get excited about. And the ball kicked out finally on halfway by Aitchison. England 33, Scotland 3, 50 minutes gone. Lisa Martin a little happier with that passage of play.
I think I was a little bit up until I think we had a knock on in the 22, but we put ourselves in such a good position, but we're just so flat and we're so over eager to try and take our opportunities when we can that I think we actually played off not the right ball. I think the ball was too slow from that ruck to then think, let's go to our backs. I think we just need to be a bit more patient. The opportunities will come, but we just need to have that patience to build it and get our playing off the right sort of platforms.
Once again, it looks as if Rachel Malcolm's in the wars, just receiving some attention. So committed to the cause, isn't she? And with Conkle now off, the skipper having to try and rally her troops in this second half. They have had a terrific tournament, given Lisa all the setbacks behind the scenes, which Scotland haven't wanted to dwell on. The problem with the contracts, the problem behind the scenes in terms of ensuring their futures. It's almost kind of masked and been forgotten about because they've been playing so well, haven't they? But sadly, once this tournament's over, they're going to have to try and address it in some shape or form.
Oh, 100%. These performances have definitely been papering over the cracks that have long been there, I think, within Scottish rugby with regards to the women's programme. But like you say, after this game, over the next couple of weeks, conversations need to start happening, and we need to know what what is the legacy of this team and this team in this tournament, and what will a continued success look like, and who will that look like in terms of squad wise, because these girls still don't know who's going to have a contract in terms of half of the squad.
Yeah, it is a brutal contrast between the Red Roses and Scotland as Nelson puts a lovely little kick over the top, and there are two players chasing this and Scotland coming in on it. Brilliant work. It was Thompson who took that, and England again. Australia did a very similar tactic in the last game. Right tactic at the right time as Scotland looking, and Nelson gets the offload away. The ball is bouncing and it came off an England hand, so Scotland will get the scrum. But for a moment, that was just what any Scottish fan had been dying to see.
Oh, 100%. It's changing the picture that England are defending against, and trying, like we say in the game, trying to keep them honest, and having that little chip over there. But again, it's frustrating to see that mainly like our two playmakers in Helen Nelson and Lisa Thompson are often the ones having to carry the ball, because they're getting either so flat to the gain line, or because England are defending and sending a shooter on the outside to spook them. Just take a couple more metres depth and allow us to play a little bit wider. We might get a couple more gaps there.
Scrum, 15 metres from the far side touchline, and the England girls are on the drums, making a fair old racket, Cat Merchant.
They were, weren't they? Heady killed on there, trying to get the fans going for an England supportive shout.
Yeah, it's been we talked at just after the start of the second half. It's been fascinating, the two quarterfinals we've had as the Mexican wave begins here. The second half has always been slightly slower and stodgier affairs, haven't they? They haven't had that electric element about them, and it happened to Canada yesterday against Australia. It's happening to England here. Just the one try in the second half so far. They haven't been allowed by Scotland to play at the pace or the freedom that they had in the first.
Yes, I think Scotland have stood up and they've done some, they've asked different questions, they've put kicks in over, but I often think that knockout games, when you get to those in big tournaments, they can be pretty like nitty gritty, or because everything is on the line, you maybe do things not quite with as much flair as you would for a game that doesn't have quite as much weight to it. So occasionally you can get games that aren't necessarily as pretty as we would like.
And Scotland get the ball out, and have to say Brevner holding them brilliantly, because once again England were pouring through the middle. Scotland though in possession, attacking right to left in this second half. Lovely inside ball there from Nelson, keeping England's defence at bay, not wanting to overcommit as Lisa Thompson just goes through, secures that ball. Brevner holding again, Scotland down the left hand channel. Chloe Rolly over the ball, and now Scotland go to Molly Pullman, who's just come on. The prop, but lost by Scotland. Two knock-ons on both sides, and the frustration, plenty of intent, plenty of purpose, but that finish, that accuracy, just letting Scotland down.
Yeah, it's just skill execution again. England are doing really well to force Scotland to have to play back towards the ruck with those little tips back on the inside where England are strong defensively. But we've seen when Scotland try to get onto an outside shoulder of an England defender, we're getting more yards, we're getting beyond that contact. But at the minute we're just playing into England's hands defensively in terms of keeping it pretty tight. Let's just see a bit more variety. Let's cause England a bit of stress by trying to play a little bit wider. Let's not have our playmakers constantly having to carry. Let's give Emma Orr a bit more space and let her have an outside break, because we've really rarely seen her with ball in hand this game.
Lark, Atkin Davis, Sarah Byrne have come on for Amy Cockayne and Maud Muir. Huge ovation from the crowd. And the Mexican wave doing its third lap around Ashton Gate. Plenty of cowboy hats to the right of us here. And the rain has fortunately and fortuitously left us. But the game slightly stale at the moment. England 33-3. 4 tries in the first half for England, if you're just joining us. 2 for Kelsey Clifford, 1 for Abby Dow, 1 for Moana Talling, as England try and counter-attack from the scrum and play the territory game. Downfield, that could be a useful kick, all very near, but the referee coming back. Is there an offside? England will get the penalty inside their own half.
Lisa, I missed it. I was trying to sneeze off the mic, so can you update us what happened there?
Here comes my skills at the front row. I think it was Leo Bartlett got pulled there in terms of she was pulling her bind down, so then kind of like curving under and then collapsing the scrum there. Just she'd done really well to stay in the fight in terms of up front there, but just couldn't take the pressure in the end and just had to collapse it just to stop England getting a front foot there.
What I love is you reenacted every part of that. I saw the grip, the twist. That's great.
I'm living my front row dreams here.
We are launching the career here of Lisa Martin, filling in on every single bit of an aspect of modern rugby. Great ball off the top, won by England, and now a little bit of zip from the England midfield as coming through the centre is Hurd, and Scotland's defence having to realign quickly as England get the moves. That looks a slightly... Was that a deliberate knock-on by England, by Scotland, as Abby Dow now goes hunting for her second try. Hunt getting it away, and Aitchison just checks, sets up the ruck. Scotland trying to pour over the top. 33-3 England lead. Only one try in this second half. Hurd gets it away. That's great hands by the England centre. It's there for Hunt on a plate. Not many options to the left-hand side as Scotland's defence came up fast. Hunt is there. There's a pod of 3 England forwards coming into that 22. Sets up quick ball once again. A little lovely little grubber kick through. Meg Jones will be on the end of it. Did she tap it down? Rowland came through. And this will be one for the TMO as Aurélie Grosselot comes over, does her little square box.
Yes, Aurélie.
And her conversation with Quentin Immelman will begin. Lovely weighted kick, Cat Merchant, but it's just about whether it was grounded.
Yeah, really smart as well. They've been playing some beautiful flat passes. Tatiana Hurd doing what she does best. She's so important into the side with the carry she goes, but just listening and hear what
The first grounding, possible grounding.
what's being said. So we're just seeing a replay here of who gets a hand to it first.
Okay, Aurélie.
And it's all...
I think Emma Orr's done brilliantly there, Lisa, hasn't she?
Just sneaked her hand in between Meg Jones's one there and has definitely hopefully saved a bit of a try there, but it's scary times for Scotland. England are finding new ways to attack, and Scotland now need to continue problem solving.
The body language though spoke volumes because Meg Jones was not punching the air in delight either.
Yeah, I was thinking that Meg is one that will celebrate and she will go for it, so she knew she hadn't scored that.
So the score remains 33-3 to England. 5 tries so far, 56 minutes gone here on 5 Sports Extra, live from Ashton Gate. The winner will play France here in Bristol next weekend, next Saturday afternoon, as Scotland restart. And England took it, but only just. Kick backwards, and Gallagher. Wow, Evie Gallagher very coolly took it, racing back towards her own try line and sets up the ruck far side on the 22. But England then have stolen it straight back, and the England forwards just trying to lift the tempo here. Hunt, middle of the field. England now have knocked it on. They've given it back to Scotland. It is one of those second halves, one of those afternoons where it's just pretty scratchy. It is not clinical. It's about who can hold on to the ball and do it as safely as they can, as Scotland just try and play straightforward, simple rugby, but they haven't found touch. Another wonderful leap into the air from Breach, and England trying to attack right through the middle. Another advantage for a high tackle, this time from Scotland, and England will try and take this and drive down that left-hand side through Kabea, and there comes the penalty. And that's what happens, Lisa. You've got to find touch. You've got to be able to clear the ball.
Definitely, especially in a game like this where it's constant, relentless pressure. Scotland would rather have a bit of a stuttered game, a bit stop-start, so it doesn't allow England to get into their flow of their game. But we're kicking relatively loosely and giving England's dangerous back three an opportunity to not only run it back at us, but also like kick to find spaces, because we're just not defending the backfield as well as we have done before.
Lark Atkin-Davis, who's come on for Amy Cockayne, to the front of the line out, and England's maul is it's frustrated. The ball has been brought down to the deck. They haven't got the wonderful pitch they would have had, but here comes the surge now. England a metre out, waiting for the score. It's a Scottish hand there, just holding up the ball. It's loose. Hunt tried to get it out, And there was a knock-on. Just on that line, and Scotland can breathe again.
Yeah, they're defending with a lot of heart. They really are putting bodies on the line. I think they were unlucky there not to have been deemed as holding that one up. Referee thought it was just short of the try line. I thought potentially was held up, but a few errors creeping in to both sides. The knock-on rate that neither are going to be happy with.
We talked so much about the Scotland back three as well, Lisa, today. So dangerous. Fran McGee in particular had a wonderful tournament. Rona Lloyd as well. They just haven't been given the chance to really put their foot down, have they? I really hope, from a neutral's point of view, we get to see them play some rugby in this last 20 minutes.
Oh, 100%. I think we've only seen Francesca McGee get their hands on the ball twice. One of that's been a kick return, and other one I think they tried to bring her into play in the middle of the field, but Scotland just haven't been in the right places to unleash their back three and allow them opportunities to come into the game, whether that be down to Scotland's attack or England's defence. I think it's a combination of both, but at what point do we just start throwing the kitchen sink at this and just playing from anywhere? Because at the minute we've got nothing to lose, and we want to end this tournament on a high and showing the attacking levels of rugby that we can play. And I think there comes a time where you've just got to throw it in and just be like, you know what, let's just play. Let's shackles are off. Let's have some fun with this.
Well, they've got to survive this scrum first, which has been under the pump throughout the contest so far. England 33, Scotland 3 in our final Women's Rugby World Cup quarter-final here in Bristol. And Scotland feeding, but the front rows go down again.
Grab more distances. Just closer.
And again, how many times are referees calling for parity, calling for that stability? Couple of new players in the front row. Just looking at the England bench, seeing who's still to come on. Actually, John Mitchell hasn't brought on too many yet, Kat.
Yeah, he's saving his backs, isn't he? So Lucy Packer not on yet, nor Emma Singh or Zoe Harrison, so really saving those three.
He certainly picked Holly Aitchison, one of the reasons to give her first start of the tournament. He wanted to give her game time.
Yeah, she needs game time in her legs. It's something you just need to be like battle ready. Like, there's nothing like, you can do as much fitness as you like, but actually on the pitch games.
England get the penalty. The referee's had enough with the Scottish front row, and England. Holly, I'm just seeing what Zoe Allcroft's saying.
I think she's asking how many scrum penalties now, because that has been quite a few, and especially in these sorts of an area.
She wants one more.
I think she wants a card, to be fair.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's looking to do. So 5 scrum penalties against Scotland. That's just crazy stats.
I think it looks like Scotland are going to make some changes in this front row and hopefully get a little bit of not sympathy from the ref, but maybe a bit of a start over with some new girls coming on and giving them the benefit of the doubt. But
well, they need to change the interpretation, don't they, in the referee's mind? And England bring on 4.
Us, James. he's heard us.
Maybe they're listening. That Cat Merchant's been criticising us again, saying we're not using the bench. Quick, bring on 4. And that's exactly what's happened. Scotland, they bring on some more front row players too. Abby Ward on. Ryan Tanning scored in the first half. Zoe Allcroft is off. Mo Hunt and Tatiana Hurd. So yeah, plenty of changes being run. Abby Ward is on. Mandy Vedianati. Lucy Parker's on. And Zoe Harrison is on. So it'll be interesting to see how England shape their back line, Kat, in this second half.
Yeah, so Holly's moved out to 12 with Zoe coming in at 10, it looks like, because they do have that versatility across their back line where they can play anywhere. What's interesting now is England technically have probably 4 fly halves on the pitch, because they've got Zoe, they've got Holly, Meg can play 10, and so can Roland.
Yeah.
That's a playmaking back line, isn't it?
And that's what he wants. He wants options, doesn't he? When it dislocates, when it gets dodgy and difficult. But there's not much a back can do when the scrums take 5.5 hours to set and go again.
Only 5.5 hours? It felt longer.
Feels a hard afternoon, the second half.
Yes.
19 minutes. Hang in there, Kat. Hang in there, Lisa.
We're trying.
No more scrums, please.
Yeah. 33-3 England lead. Now the scrum has. Once again, England are in a brilliant position. They've got this controlled at the back. The referee has her arm out. Lucy Packer's wrapped up in the tackle by Rachel McLaughlin, but I wonder if the referee will lose patience and Scotland will lose a player. Packer gets the pass away, 5 metres out. Bit more depth this time, and now England trying to get some shape. The crossfield kick, Dow is waiting, putting pressure on McGee, and in the end, neither get it, and it goes into touch.
But I like that they're doing these crossfields. They did one right at the start of the game, doing one now, because what that does is it makes defences have to think about it. So thinking France are going to have to drop a player should they be playing in the semis.
I think there's going to be a conversation here as a final warning.
Infringement in the scrum. So just
Well, in
discipline.
In terms of the picture I feel, they're walking it round on their tight head side, so it's not coming up straight.
Yeah, but no, for me we don't have the same picture. So just ask your team to have the best picture. Thank you. Yeah.
Nice try, Rachel Malcolm. But the referee's not buying it, Lisa.
Absolutely nothing. It's always worth a try in terms of saying what you're thinking and feeling, but you know, you're trying to bring awareness and light to what they're seeing and hopefully get under the microscope a bit more, but alas, not this time round.
Com's so important. The stray balls actually come onto the pitch. I think we've got 2 rugby balls on the pitch.
That is very, very smart play there by Sarah Bono, though, spotting the second ball and actually jumping on it, so England have to stop their maul that was going forward, so I think that was a very, very smart play.
We don't see that every match, do we? Oh, it was thrown in from the crowd.
The person who threw it in from the crowd is going to feel pretty bad. Unless they're a Scotland fan, then they'll feel pretty happy. But if that's an England player that's thrown that in, they've just stopped what potentially looked like it could have been an England rolling ball try.
If you can give me the number of the person that did that, I will happily give them something to say thank you. Absolutely.
A couple of beers post-match. Alex Matthews, I imagine, is in charge now with Zoe Allcroft on the bench, and that's probably a sensible, pragmatic call from Mitchell. Obviously, Allcroft's first game back, Cat, just wanting to make sure that the skipper stays fit.
And when you're coming back from injury as well, normally you'll have limitations on game time. So she has been out; she's missed the majority of the pool. So actually having her there, they might have said, and quite often injuries are you get 20, 40 or 60, or you just get full. I don't know why. They tend to be in 20-minute intervals that you're allowed. So I think they said, yeah, give her 60, get her off.
England with another scrum, just the one score in this second half. Amy Cockayne, 63 minutes on the clock, out the back of the scrum. Lucy Packer, will she go herself? Gets the pass away, tackled Zoe Harrison, as a long queue of players waiting for it. Fianati drives it another metre. Packer again, quick ball from England, it is constant. But Scotland hold them right underneath the post. The switch of direction from Packer, the inside line, and the try from Aitchison. Very astute play there from England. They had Scotland going one way, they switched it last minute. Lucy Packer saw the space, Aitchison called for the ball, and it was against the grain, Cat Merchant, and England have that second half try.
Yeah, I really like what Lucy Packer adds. She really adds some value. That everybody thought it was going right. She just listened up to that Zoe Harrison coming round the corner to the left and then passing back inside to fellow 10 Holly Aitchison to score it.
Aitchison still with the kicking duties, 4 from 5, 80% for Aitchison today. First start in this World Cup after coming off the bench against Australia. Doesn't muck about with the ball at the tee. That's a lovely strike. Right through the posts. The posts light up once again. A thumbs up from Aitchison, converts her own score. And it was the patience, the holding of that line from Harrison, playing it fast and flat. And England now pulling away. They lead here in Bristol by 40 points to 3. And the restart from Scotland downfield. And England hoof it downfield. The questions, Cat, about the back line. there's been a lot of talk in the press and amongst fans.
Yeah.
They want to see the back line come to life a little more. Have you seen a bit more from England in terms of creativity in the second half?
Yeah, seen glimpses of it. What I've been surprised by is actually how much the back three have kicked in terms of attacking ball. Jess Breach got one run on the outside. She gave it a kick, actually, I think. Keep it in hand, have a run. Dow did a couple of kicks. One, absolutely incredible 50-22. But also, these are like apps and out gas finishers. I'd love to see them with a bit more ball in hand.
14 minutes left. Scotland with the line out, far side. England trying to disrupt at the front through Ward, and they've done the perfect job. And now they've got counter-attack ball, which can be so deadly. Up to halfway. Packer kicks it downfield. They are wanting to play the territory game. That's a nice crossfield ball, and they'll get the 50-22. Since she has come on, Lucy Packer is just saying to John Mitchell, I don't have to be the replacement. I could be your starting 9 next week against France.
Yeah, she is a fantastic player, and she has made a real impact coming on. I think the pace of ball has been good. We've seen it go to the blind. We see that really nice 50-22 as well from her, and that's a confident thing to do. For the box kick of 50-22, that's tough.
She's not the loudest player either, Lucy Packer. Keeps it very unassuming, quite quiet, but she just does her talking on the pitch. As Scotland England didn't win that line out. Scotland have it in their 22, and so their pack will just try and truck it up a little to give Hannah Nelson a better angle for the kick, and in the end it's charged down, it's ricocheting everywhere. Meg Jones picks it up, but we will come back for the turnover for that original knock-on from England, and it'll be a scrum to Scotland in their 22. They're probably looking at that and thinking, oh, another scrum.
But also that charge down, you could see that coming from a mile away. She took about 15 hours to take that kick.
And that's the thing, is if you know that you're quite slow in terms of the transition of catching ball to then getting it to your foot, give yourself that extra space to do that, because we've seen England send shooters at the foot, so give yourself that time to do so. It's that awareness of how I kick, how long do I take, and it's that frustrating little things, because this isn't the first time, this is the second charge, and there has been, so it's about this learning on the job and learning on the go.
Scrum to Scotland, it's 15 metres from this near side touchline. They're playing right to left in this second half. They would love a try, they would love a score here. Just the 3 points which they got in the first 2 minutes of the game. Haven't had the opportunity really enough, Lisa, have they? Haven't been in England's 22 enough to cause the damage, to have the chance to score.
No, they haven't, and when they have been there, it's been little frustrating errors that are within their own control that have been their undoing, really, to be fair. Whether that be a slightly unfunctioning line out, or we're standing too flat and putting ourselves under pressure to catch and move the ball, or what have you. It's just frustrating to feel that we've kind of gone back a couple of steps from where we've been against Wales and Fiji and even Canada.
Slightly unfunctioning line out. I think we're being very kind there.
I'm trying to be as positive as I can. There have been some good bits.
There's been some great ones. There's been some fantastic line-outs, but yeah, they'll be disappointed.
Gallagher did well after that scrum was under pressure. She picked it up and ran up, and then comes the knock-on. That pretty much sums up Scotland's second half, Lisa.
Absolutely, we do. There's glimpses of some great reads and some great calls there, but it's just that last little pass of, we've maybe looked up a bit too early and seen onrushing defence coming onto us, or passes being slightly behind us, and it's just frustrating to see that.
Emma Singh comes on for Megan Jones, and listen to this ovation. Very popular player, played in every game. As players go, Kat Merchant, she is crucial to England, isn't she?
Yeah, I was quite surprised they didn't bring her off earlier, just in terms of, we've talking about game time for players and every single minute of every game. You don't want players to be fatigued when they're in that semi-final and then hopefully progressing to final. So possibly would have thought about getting her off at the 60-minute mark, give her 20 minutes less in the legs.
Get in the ice bath.
Yeah, but she's tough.
Recovery.
Yeah, she's a tough girl, so she'd want to play every second if she could.
Scotland penalty at the scrum. Get the champagne out, Lisa Martin.
We've got something at scrum time. It'll just be interesting to see what we do off this, and actually if we can make this into something, further up the pitch that's positive and is the start of something, that might cross the try line.
The kick downfield, and they haven't found touch. I'll put the champagne back, Lisa.
Recork it, put it back in. I don't want it. I don't want it.
I'll have it.
England will have the pickup, and it's little moments like that. They're so important. Packer getting it away. England through the centre of the pitch up to their own 10-metre line as the rain comes back through into the stadium, out to the left-hand side, and now England just playing that territory game. Oh, that's a great take by Nelson. She kicks downfield. Aitchison and cuts back inside. Packer's there. Nice little line. Scrum half sets it up. Touch on that far corner. It's the mental blow as well, isn't it? Because you get the penalty, you have this feeling of euphoria, and then by not finding touch, it's a real hammer blow, isn't it, mentally?
It's really frustrating. It's, you know, we had a phrase when we were doing sevens at one point of gold to garbage moments. If you've done something really well, you've, you know, stopped England at set piece time there, and annoyingly we've then not made touch, whether that be, you know, we're looking to gain too many yards, or just maybe ball drop's been a little bit off. But it's those things of, you want to back up a good moment with another good moment, and we've just not seen that enough from Scotland today.
So many parts of my life go from gold to garbage. Love that description. Let's have
I
that.
haven't heard that before,
Let's
but I
go
like
gold
it.
to garbage. If there's
Trademarked.
one thing you take away from today, people, gold to garbage. 40 points to 3. A line out lost. England knock it on this second half.
Offside.
It's testing the patience of both sides. And Scotland get the penalty though, Lisa.
Knock on and offside.
Please make touch.
This is...
Just quick tap.
we might lose a commentator if they don't find touch here, as this time Nelson does it. Finds a good touch up to the 22. This is the platform Scotland have been looking for this entire second half, Lisa.
It 100% is, and let's try to finish this game on a high in terms of, you know, executing this set piece that we know can function and has been functioning. And let's, like I said before, shackles off. Let's have some fun with this. This is our last opportunity to be in a quarter-finals part of this World Cup. Let's have some fun. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's show what, you know, this backline and this team can achieve and can do.
25,000 people here, the attendance recorded in Bristol. What a crowd for another amazing game of rugby. We've had huge crowds for this Women's World Cup, huge audiences too across the BBC as England take possession. Scotland lose the line out. It's sadly going to be one of the abiding frustrations for Scotland today as England kick long through Harrison. Taken in the centre of the pitch through Lloyd, Rona Lloyd, the wing. She's tackled just inside halfway. And Scotland attack the right-hand wing. The ruck set and formed. And there's 3 players down a very congested right-hand side. Gallagher does well to set the ball up. Stewart, who's come on a replacement 9, sets up the ruck, and you can hear the England players on the drums. Ellie Kildunn giving it everything she's got. 7 minutes left here in Bristol. England 40, Scotland 3. France line wait in a week's time. Scotland looking for a try, trying to find it. And they get another penalty, another hand in the ruck from England. This is where you wonder if they could just play it with a bit more pace, maybe to make the tap and go there, Kat.
Just quick tap. I've been baffled by the fact that they're not doing it, with the line out being not functioning, with set piece, you know, scrum being an issue. Yes, they got the last scrum penalty, but you know, they've had 5 against them, so it's just like Groundhog Day, just kicking it to the line out, losing said line out, and then just on repeat.
Is that not like the definition of insanity, is trying the same thing and hoping for a different outcome?
Couple more changes as we see up on the screen that Moena Talling is going to be given the Player of the Match award. Couple more changes for Scotland as well. Now then, key line out. I don't want to set this up too much, Lisa. Because my abiding memory is your head just looking down at the ground when the line out's going wrong. So we need to think positively here from a Scottish perspective.
I am manifesting as much as I can, just a nice clean line out ball, little drive, and let's do something with the backs, please.
I'm with you. Let's go. Let's both do it. Right, okay, we're in the zone. We're
1,
thinking
2,
of it.
3.
We're going to make it happen.
Win the line out.
Here we go. Have the girls crossing their fingers.
It's not good enough. We're manifest hard enough.
Yeah.
Did you cross your fingers? Were you really trying?
I was.
The least we say about that line out, the better. And out that comes to England inside their 22. And they've got 6 minutes to try and get a few more scores. In the end, they are playing the pragmatic route. They're kicking it downfield. Nelson in the pocket. And up she comes, the 10 for Scotland. Cuts back inside. Lovely line from Nelson. Nelson takes it beyond the 22. Still pumping and giving Scotland hope that that try will come. The left-hand side they attack. Not the easiest of passes to Stewart. She's driven back in the tackle. It's loose, and there's another knock-on, I think. Yes, it's gone to England. But Helen Nelson just reminding us, Lisa, how dangerous she can be, standing up the England defence. And what a break.
She's such a good natural runner with the ball. Like, often back in my day, I'd just love to see Helen running at 12. Give her more time with the ball in hand so she can actually do a bit of running. We've seen her at 15 a little bit at Loughborough Lightning as well, and I think that's a part of her game that's maybe a little bit underutilised, is actually she's such a dangerous and evasive runner.
Absolutely agree with you there. Like, love seeing her when she does play at club and plays some 12. Just having a bit more space, being able to be the runner, not having to be the one to provide it, because that just proved it. She just swatted Roland out the way and, you know, took on Dow and did well. So yeah, just for her, like, just getting that would be so important. And you wouldn't think with the scoreline of just being shown the possession here, England have had 57% and Scotland 43, but just Scotland just have given it away far too easily. But yeah, if they don't quick tap the next penalty, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Penalty to England from that scrum. They have played tactically a very canny game, England today.
Oh, England, good. I thought you were going to say Scotland. I was like,
wasn't going to say Scotland.
Absolutely not.
They've played the conditions, and they've played it pretty well. They've you know, played on Scotland's weakness at line out and at scrum, and they've made sure they have come away with the territory or with the points.
England have played some smart rugby. They have. They've you know, in the first opening game, their kick-off receipts weren't going to plan. They've obviously worked on those. They're a smart side, and they are looking to play some creative rugby. But knock on there as they do try to be creative.
They almost want it too much, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, like, I'm just looking and comparing. I'm thinking forward to like semis and to finals and who's been the most impressive. And for me at this moment, who should be most scared of who? And actually, I think Canada are the ones that teams should be scared of. I think New Zealand have shown glimpses of it, but then also they've struggled against lesser sides for certain periods. England today, they've put 40 points on an improving Scotland side. But is it enough for Canada, New Zealand, France to be looking at and going, I'm terrified of England? Probably not.
Have they been ruthless enough? That's the question.
Yeah, not. I think they've been ruthless. I just don't think we've seen enough flair of, like, what, you know, we've seen Canada score out their own 22. We've seen New Zealand do it. We've seen France do it for their score, the all-important score against Ireland earlier.
Well, I tell you one thing that has been emphatic, it's been that England scrum. They get another penalty advantage, and England now kicking downfield, looking for a 50-22. It hasn't quite worked, but they've got the touch, and they are just playing the percentages very well. They get the line out. They will put Scotland under more pressure at the line out as we enter the last 3 minutes.
I'm surprised there, because that was a penalty off the scrum. They kicked it, but I think that should come back for England to then have the penalty to kick out and it be their line out. So, bit surprised by that one, but outcome could be the same anyway.
Kind of the one where you would expect almost the captain, and Alex Matthews in this case, is to have that chat with the referee and say, well, can we go back for that penalty, please?
Yes, can we have a penalty advantage, please? Yeah, just those little smart words.
Scotland with the line out on their 22. 40 points to 3, England lead. Scotland take the line out. And they kick it downfield, and England were offside, so they'll get a penalty as well.
Yeah, we're just looking, they are in their 22, so a tough one. They haven't got the ball, so impossible to quick tap it. But again, I'd tap it, give it to your kicker, hoof it down the middle, just put a big chase on it, rather than just this relentless kicking for line out. Like, this is one, like, I've done coaching myself, level coaching. It's the ones that you're just pulling your hair out, watching the same thing happen over and over and over, and you're just screaming from the sideline, or in your head anyway.
Well, we manifested last time.
It didn't work.
Should we have one more crack?
If all
Are you
if
gonna
all three
join
of us
in?
can get involved, I think it might work.
And a producer, you're going to get involved? Oh, right, all four of us now.
Yeah.
Okay, Hixie's joining us. We're going to manifest together.
Last minute.
Let's go. We've all...
Last minute.
Yeah.
Scotland's line out. One last test. One last opportunity to attack on halfway. Oh dear. England take it out the back. And will want one final rumble, one final flourish to try and get to 45, maybe 47 points. Out the back it goes. Nice passing flat, Abby Dow barely really touched the ball in attack, and she's lost it. She was tackled and the ball goes into touch. Well, the mistakes are being made across the piece. The good news is Scotland will get one more line out.
Is that good news? Define good.
To make up for the fact that the last one was lost.
This game has been, like we saw first half, I think was quite exciting from both Scotland and England. This second half, to be honest, and now we're nearly at the end of it, I think we're allowed to say it, has been a slog. There has been knock-ons, there has been line-outs not gone, it's been tough graft out there. Only the 2 tries this second half, is it?
Yeah, two England tries.
Painful.
I just think no team's been able to get any sort of string of phases together, because, like you say, they're either their own worst enemy and causing their own mistakes, or the opposition is managed to get in there and cause a bit of an issue or whatever. So it's just, like you say, it's been a bit of a slog, probably not only to listen to, but obviously potentially to watch and play, to be fair.
Conley, so it hasn't been a slog to listen to.
I know, we've been delightful.
You've been fabulous. Now, England trying to put pressure on the scrum. Scotland desperate to find a hole, and they've got a hole. They've got a gap. Can they find a weakness here and break through? Great run there from McGee. Up to and beyond the 10-metre line. Scotland piling in the bodies into this break time. We are into dead time here in Bristol. They'll get the penalty. Will they tap and go quickly, Scotland? That's exactly what they do. Gallagher drives it on into England's 22. 40 points to 3. Scotland haven't scored a try, just the 3 points in the opening minutes of this match. They peel away to the right-hand side. England will not want to concede a score here. They attack one more time through Nelson. They're 7 metres out. To the right-hand side they go, quick hands. And Lloyd, the winger, takes it. They're a metre from the far side. The Scotland forwards pile the pressure on. England attacking loose. Defending loose. Where's that ball gone? It's still with Scotland. I thought there'd been a knock on the pick up and drive. They're 3 metres out now, Scotland. They have been hoping they would get a chance. The clock looks against them, but now they are 1 metre out from England's try line. Over the top it comes. Lloyd tries to take it. She's still got it, Rona Lloyd, and she's there, is she, Rona Lloyd? She's over the line. It looked as if she'd lost it. Then it looked as if she'd knocked it on, but she kept her composure and she beat 2 England players and has touched down on that far side.
I think it's an emotional time here. I think obviously knowing that this is our last involvement in this World Cup and seeing how much effort it's taken from all these girls and all the squad, but again, this was the back's involvement we wanted to see, seeing our back three get involved, and annoyingly it's taken to the 82nd minute to see how dangerous Francesca McGee and Rona Lloyd can be, and just her sheer determination to just not give up and not be relentless in terms of, I'm making my way over this try line, I'm making sure Scotland getting a try on the board.
Yeah, and again, that was from out there 22 as well, and that's what good teams are able to do, and that was the most exciting part. That was probably one of the best tries of this game. Definitely Scotland's best attack.
Here comes the kick, but it just drifts across goal, and we have full time here in Bristol. England through to the World Cup semi-finals, where they will take on France here next Saturday. What a semi-final that will be, as France narrowly came through against Ireland in Exeter earlier today, having been 13-0 down. They came back to win it 18 points to 13. England, though, triumphant. Not the most attractive second half you will ever see, but it's job done, Cat Merchant.
Exactly, job done. When it comes to World Cups, no one remembers how you did it. No one cares. Play the most boring brand of rugby you like. Doesn't matter. Just get the wins.
Lisa, your verdict on Scotland. Immense frustration with the line out and the scrum. But what reflection, that last minute, such a positive thing to take away from today.
Yeah, massively, and it just shows the ability and the potential we have within this squad that's come to the World Cup, and it shows that we should be part of conversations, that we should be expected and, you know, really looked at as winners, and people and teams should be really worried about, because before we've not had that respect, and I think this World Cup Scotland have earned respect. They've forced the respect from others, whether that be other teams, other players, from within. I think this has been a massive showing from them in terms of they should be part of this World Cup, and they should be definitely part of that elite top 10 for a long time to come.
So as we fast forward to next week, Kat, we have our final four. We have Canada, New Zealand on Friday night here. We have England, France. Let's start with England. England, France next week. They'll dust themselves down. They'll go again. John Mitchell's got probably some thinking to do about who, for instance, starts at 10. Is Hannah Bottoman going to be fit enough to play in that semi-final? It's going to be a big week for England in terms of their preparation.
Yeah, it will be. And, you know, that wasn't a performance that they're going to be overly happy with, I don't think. Obviously, they're happy they've got through, and it's 40 points. And they did take some opportunities, but it's not one that I think this quality side will be happy enough with.
How much do you blame the conditions for it?
No, it's not the conditions. I don't think it's the conditions, because I don't think that England have been firing at all so far. I've not seen England at their best. I've got big respect for this team, and I love the players out there, and I think they can put some incredible rugby together. We have not seen that from them for a full 80 in any of the pool stages, and we certainly didn't see it today either.
And why aren't we seeing it?
I don't know. I think today at least the timings look better. I feel that it's almost like they're used to playing unopposed, because they're used to smashing people by so many points. Then actually when they are tested, those timings are just slightly off. Today I think they fixed that. It did look good, but I don't know why. Just something isn't quite clicking now. I'm hoping they're simmering and they're just waiting, and they'll, really surprise us in the semis. But yeah, they're not there yet.
And Lisa, from your perspective, looking at England, where do you think they can improve?
I just think it's that clinicalness in terms of they create great opportunities, and it's just about them finding that next level of turning that into points. They're able to pressurise teams, hunt for the weaknesses in oppositions, but it's maybe just finding what type of a team are they wanting to play like. Obviously, when you've got the likes of Tatiana Hurden at 12, obviously you're looking to carry pretty hard in that channel, but when we go with Holly Aitchison at 12, that's two playmakers in the middle, so you're looking to therefore play wide. So actually, what is their best brand of rugby? I just don't think they've quite found that out yet in terms of the backline. Personally, as a 10/12, I would love to see it a bit more playing wider, because that's where they're most dangerous, is that 13 channel out. Let's get the ball there nice and early, and ask England to challenge the likes of, France, and then, if all things go well, moving on to that final.
As a wing, I agree. Get the wings the ball. But why not? They've got absolutely outstanding finishers. And Dow, I honestly think, is one of the best finishers in the world. Not just for England, in the world. She's insane when she gets the ball. So just getting her that ball in space. I do think, though, that comes through Tatiana Hurd, carrying, punching, and then getting it to her. I think we get caught a little bit in England of just trying to launch it wide before we've earned the right to do it, and that's when the wingers don't have space. But yeah, it's interesting to see how this is going to go. I think,
Girls, great stuff. Thank you so much for your company today, Kat Merchant and Lisa Martin. As England go into the huddle, so too Scotland, and reflect on that last 80 minutes. England victorious into the semi-finals. They will play France here next weekend. Canada will play New Zealand, and all the best coverage on the Rugby Union Weekly podcast, which you'll get in the next 24 hours throughout the week on the Sport website and 5 Live, and then the live commentary is coming up next weekend all the way through to the final. But England can celebrate. They are into the final four. They've beaten Scotland by 40 points to 8.